Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. You hear me? Hare Krishna. Can anybody hear me? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So we will.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandot Pranam, Mataji. So we'll sing a bhajan to start with. Bhajahu re mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vrindari 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 Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange Taro ho e bhava sindore Taro ho e bhava sindore Bhajahu re mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vrindari Bhajahu re mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vrindari Sita Atap Bhatabari Sana Sita Atap Bhatabari Sana Sita Atap Bhatabari Sana Sita Atap Bhatabari Sana Edina Jamini Jagire Edina Jamini Jagire Edina Jamini Jagire Edina Jamini Jagire Vipale se vinu Kripana Durjana 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 Chapala Sukalabha Lagire Chapala Sukalabha Lagire Chapala Sukalabha Lagire Chapala Sukalabha Lagire Bhajahu re mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vrindari Bhajahu re mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vrindari Hey Dhana Yaubhana Putra Parijana 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 Ete ke ache para তিতিরে থেকে আছে পারা তিতিরে থেকে আছে পারা তিতিরে থেকে আছে পারা তিতিরে कमल दल जल जीवन कलमल 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 भजहु हरि पद नीति रे भजहु हरि पद नीति रे भजहु हरि पदा नीतिरे भजहु हरि पदा नीतिरे भजहु रे मन श्रीनंदानंदन अभय चरनारा वृंदरे भजहु रे मन श्रीनंदानंदन अभय चरनारा वृंदरे श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदन श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदन श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदन श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदन पाद सेवन दास्य रे पाद सेवन दास्य रे पाद सेवन दास्य रे पाद सेवन दास्य रे पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन गोविंद दास अभिलाष रे गोविंद दास अभिलाष रे गोविंद दास अभिलाष रे गोविंद दास अभिलाष रे भजहु रे मन श्रीनंदानंदन अभय चरनारा वृंदरे भजहु रे मन श्रीनंदानंदन अभय चरनारा वृंदरे दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे दुर्लभ मानव जन्म सत्संगे तारो हो हे भव सिंधु रे तारो हो हे भव सिंधु रे भजहु रे मन श्रीनंदानंदन भय चरनारा वृंदरे भजहु रे मन श्रीनंदानंदन अभय चरनारा वृंदरे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशकारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशकारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन गिरिधारी गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन गिरिधारी गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन श्री चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत सीता श्री चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत सीता हरि गुरु वैष्णव भगवत गीता हरि गुरु वैष्णव भगवत गीता श्री रूप सनातना भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री रूप सनातना भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीवा गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ श्री जीवा गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भाव तुम्हें जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भाव तुम्हें निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो गौर हरि निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो गौर हरि जय सच्चिनंदन जय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि जय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि पतित पावन गौर हरि पतित पावन गौर हरि जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव नित्य गौरा हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय श्री 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 राधा मदन मोहन की जय श्री गौर निताय की जय श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय निताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंद हरि 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 बोल। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपः कुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरद्विषे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गौ ब्राह्मणाहिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुकुं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिमित्कृपः तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणं श्री परमानंद माधवं चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ओम पवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतो वा यत्स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं सभयाभ्यन्तरं सुचे। श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। चेतोदर्पणमर्जनं भवमहाद्वाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयकैरिव चन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वत्मस्थापनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनं। नामकारि बहुडानि सर्वशक्ति तत्रातिपा नियमिता स्मरणेन काल एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशम् इह जानन्यनुरागः। तृणादपि सुनीचेनातरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमाननीयमानदेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरि। न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितं वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतद्भक्तिरहोइतकी त्वयि। अयि नन्दतनुज किङ्करमं पतितमां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजधूलिसदर्शं विचिन्तया नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदरुधाय गिरा पुलकिर्निचितं कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति। युगायितं निमिषेण चक्षुषा प्रवर्षायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दं विरहे न मे। अश्लिष्य वा पादरतं पिनस्तु मामादर्शनं मर्मातां करोतु वा यथा तथा विदहतो लम्पतो मत्प्राणनाथास्त्वेव नाप्रः। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome all to the Sunday evening's Bhagavad Gita class. I'm very grateful for all of you take your time to join, and we together are going to spend some time on the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We should we should never forget how dependent we are on the God, how dependent we are on Prakriti, how dependent we are on the energies of the God. For that matter, even the shlokas that we are reciting, if he refuses to give us that remembrance, we can't even utter a single sentence. When Sri Ramananda Rai was speaking to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kovur, the banks of Godavari, there Ramananda Rai makes a very beautiful statement. He says, Mahaprabhu, you're asking me to explain the higher and the highest. But it is so astonishing that you are the one who is actually speaking, keeping me as a puppet. You are the one who is actually revealing the next knowledge, which I never personally knew. I never had any realization. Neither did I hear any time in the past. But it's you who is speaking through me for your pleasure. So we should never forget that this satsang that we are doing, we are all attending, it's him only who is making it do. Don't think that our desire is so strong that we could make a decision to attend satsang today. Or I have any knowledge sitting here as the speaker that I could share with some people today. It's all arranged and it's all happening as per the desire, as per the wish, as per the sanction of the Lord. That's why it's called pure mercy. Srila Prabhupada's last words, the very last words before he left the body, before he left the body and went back to the spiritual world, his very last words were, everything is happening as per Krishna's desire. Everything is happening for his enjoyment. These were the last words that disciples could hear. After that, Srila Prabhupada never spoke. Of course, the last instruction was, please cooperate, work together for the pleasure of Krishna. And the last words were, everything is happening as per his desire. Everything is happening. Krishna is very much there today, within us, among us, outside us, who is orchestrating everything. Everything is happening as per his desire. The Zoom call, the technology, right, which is very difficult to comprehend, but it is all happening. But a human being sometimes puffed up thinks he is able to do it. He has invented something and he has done something, and that is called Maya. That is called illusion, right? So we should never forget the role of God in anything and everything that we are doing. Without his sanction, nothing can happen. Nothing can happen. Not a blade of grass can move. Not a class can happen. Not a seva can happen. And if he refuses to accept seva, none of us can even serve. Even though we have desire to, but he has to sanction. And that is his greatness, that Mukunda, Murari, Govinda is accepting our service, is allowing this to happen. So I'm very grateful to Shri Krishna, Devaki Nandana Krishna, Yashoda Nandana Krishna, that he is allowing this to happen. And I'm very grateful, and I'll pray to him that he continues to allow us to do this service for our purification. Hare Krishna. So in the third chapter, after Krishna spoke about Sthita Prajna, after Krishna spoke about the ideal yogi, of how he engages his senses, how he curbs his senses, how he sits, walks in this material world, he kind of confused Arjuna, which is what we discussed even last time. That Arjuna suddenly started thinking that maybe this Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga is better than Karma Yoga. So he asked a question that, Krishna, your instruction seems to be confusing me. What is the right thing to do? There, Krishna started with Nishkama Karma Yoga. He discussed few verses explaining Arjuna what is Nishkama Karma Yoga. He told basically, do it for the satisfaction of Vishnu. He ended Nishkama Karma Yoga with the shloka, Yajnartha Karma Anyatra Lokoyam Karma Bandhana Tad Karma Artha Kaunteya Mukta Sangha Samachara. He said, you have to act for the satisfaction of Vishnu. Otherwise, this very work causes bondage. So he concluded explaining what is Nishkama Karma Yoga. Then Lord Krishna raised the platform of Karma Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga, from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga, where he started explaining, which is what we discussed last week. In few verses, Lord Krishna explained how he has created this whole cosmic manifestation very clearly in such a way that a person has to perform Karma Yoga and achieve the highest. Devatas have a duty to perform, Prakriti has a duty to perform, and we all also have a duty to perform. And we have to perform them by following the code given by God, not whimsically. And he also told who is the ultimate enjoyer. He is the ultimate enjoyer. Bhoktaram Yagataprasam Sarva Loka Maheshwara. He is accepting all the Bhokta. He is the Bhokta of everything. But he has beautifully designed a structure whereby he has created Devatas, and he has created prescribed duties for us, and he has created Yajnas through which the Devatas can be satisfied. And he also told the ones who take those benefits without giving back their gratitude to the Devatas are sinners. If we eat something without giving it back as gratitude to the source from which we got it, we are thieves. We are eating sin. And he also spoke about how Devatas are satisfied when they see that we all together serve the Supreme Personality of God. Devatas think that their job is done, when we serve the Supreme Lord. So there is a very important lesson that we learn, that Lord Krishna is also telling about cooperation and culmination of coming together and serving him. If we as an individual go to Krishna and say that, I love you, I want to be with you, Krishna may not like it. But when we go collectively and say that we are all your children, whether it's we includes humans and other living beings, we are your children, then Krishna embraces us. Because Krishna is such kind of a person. He is not alone even with anybody, right? He is with everybody equally, giving everybody equal importance. So when we come into that mood of servitude, where we are ready to serve everybody for the interest of Krishna, then Krishna is very much impressed. That is the reason Krishna has created all these ashramas, including Grahastha ashrama, where a husband and a wife together choose to serve Krishna, and that is most pleasing for Krishna, right? Don't think that this happens only in Grihastha ashrama. Even in the Brahmachari ashrama, it's about how all the brahmacharis come together under the shelter of a guru and they serve Krishna, right? The relationship problems that happen between a husband and a wife to serve together sometimes because of false egos coming into play also happens in all other ashramas. It's equally difficult whether to serve as a brahmachari or whether it is serve as a grahastha, because egos and perspectives, I know the only right way of doing it, these all issues come everywhere, right? So it's not about, oh, because I'm in grahastha life, I'm facing so many issues. No, even brahmacharis have the same issues. Even manaprasthas have the same issues. Of course, I'm nobody to comment about sannyasis. They're the highest. But the greatest thing about any of these ashrams is how together collectively we come and serve Krishna. That is what Krishna likes to see. And another thing, we don't have to judge how anybody else is doing, right? Because ultimately Krishna is looking at them and accepting their service. So we should not fanatically think that we know the highest, others don't. Well, philosophically, we might have better understanding, but Krishna is not a big fan of philosophy. Krishna is a big fan of love. Krishna is a big fan of humility. So if a humble soul sometimes even might be misdirected, is submitting himself in front of the Supreme Lord, that I'm yours, please accept me, then he will accept, right? He doesn't say, are you from ISKCON? Are you from some Vaishnava Parampara? Are you from this? Are you from that? Ultimately, the goal of Vaishnava Parampara is to make us humble, is to make us submit for the instructions of God, Guru, right? That humility is the qualification for us to enter the land of eternity, that is Goloka Vrindavan. If we don't have that humility, if we are not ready to submit our self-interest for the interest of Supreme Lord, then no matter how good we are in whichever philosophy, no matter how many classes we have given or taken or heard, they're of no use. Shama eva hi kevala. They're completely waste of time and energy. So let us focus on our heart becoming softer and softer day after day, right? Whereby we are ready to accept any pain or pleasure for the pleasure of Krishna, right? So that is our heart should be. It should become very fertile. It should become very accepting than rejecting, uh, very much culminating than judging, right? That is what Krishna is looking at all of us. Today I was doing the morning session, and after the session, my mother came to me and she told she wanted to attend Subbarao Prabhu's session, which is in Telugu. Immediately, I was not sure whether the session is still going on because Mahesh Prabhu is doing, Subbarao Prabhu is doing. So I just immediately installed Zoom in a phone and I just logged in, and I was so happy that a devotee is serving. Subbarao Prabhu was in the end portion of his class. He asked his daughter to start the nursing Marti. Then even Mahesh Prabhu is serving, right? So this is what is needed. All of us need to start serving, right? Here we are not for enjoyment. The moment we try to choose to enjoy, then we are subjected to the same troubles of material life, right? So our spiritual life should be like a sponge. We accept somewhere and we release it somewhere. If we accept and keep, it becomes too heavy, not good for any service. It cannot clean anything. But we should accept it and we should leave it somewhere else, right? We should also give it somewhere else. When we give it, we get more power to accept. And when we accept, we get more power to give. So Sunday evening class can be a class for us to accept, right? And for me, it is to give. But I also need a class where I have to accept. Otherwise, it's very dangerous for our spiritual life that we only give. Only giving is very dangerous because the only giver is Krishna. We cannot be the only giver, right? So we should give. We should learn to give. It's a responsibility. What we are receiving here is a great responsibility. We should learn to give. And it's not about how many are receiving it. How does it matter? We are doing it for our purification. It's not about how many. It's about how nicely are we doing whatever we are doing. Is our endeavor filled with our best effort to serve Krishna? You see, I had just mentioned about Prasad Prabhu, right? Is Prasad Prabhu on the call? Prasad Prabhu from Bajpalli. Hare Krishna Prabhu, are you on the call?
Yes, Prabhu, I am there in the call.
Haribol, Prasad Prabhu ki jai. So Prasad Prabhu he shared with me, I'm sorry Prabhu, I'm sharing with the group just for encouragement, that Prasad Prabhu is chanting 64 rounds on weekends. 64 rounds on weekends, right? And that's amazing. It's amazing. I am not chanting 64 rounds on weekends. And have I chanted like that in the past? No, I have not chanted like that in the past. And when did I meet Prasad Prabhu? I met Prasad Prabhu in 2019. And Krishna sent him to us so that we can serve him. And once again, it proves that when we receive devotees in our service, many times they are far advanced than us also, right? I feel very fortunate and I feel very privileged that I was able to serve a devotee like Prasad Prabhu who is chanting 64 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In this age of Kali Yuga, what is higher than this? There is nothing higher than this. Ultimately, this whole classes is to make us chant those rounds properly. That's all it is. If after hearing this class we are seeing walls and we are thinking other things while we are chanting, then the whole purpose is lost, right? So he's chanting 64 rounds, which means I was thinking, he's picked up Krishna conscious previous life. He just came in this life and he got attached through our medium, and Krishna gave us an opportunity to serve, right? Krishna gave us an opportunity to serve his devotees, and that is the spirit in which we have to give. So when we open our doors, sadhus come into our house. sometimes sadhus may not be looking like sadhus. They might be looking at like ordinary people around. But who are we to judge? We have opened the doors, and sadhus come in, and we serve them. And after some time, those sadhus will reveal themselves, and they will inspire us to continue in spiritual life. Right? The only Purna Purushottama, Bhagwan, is Sri Krishna. We are all his servants. Every single one of us are his servants. None of us are gurus. He is the only guru, the Adi Guru. And Guru Tattva originates from him, Balramji. And Balramji is showing how he is so satisfied by serving Lord Krishna in the mood of a servant. And every expansion of Balramji in the form of the four Chaturvyuhas and then Sankarshan, then Lord Narayan, right? And then so many Purusha Avtaras, Vishnus, and so many Avtaras who are coming from those Vishnus. Everybody is only trying to serve Krishna. Only saying to serve Krishna. That is the greatness of Krishna, right? So we are all minuscule, Jivatmas. And Krishna is giving us this opportunity to serve. And when we serve, we have no right to judge. We only have a right to serve. We only have a right to get inspired. And I'm so happy to hear, Prasad Prabhu, I'm very happy to hear you shared how nicely you're chanting. Please continue. I wish Krishna will allow you to continue to chant so and inspire many others, right? And please pray for my spiritual progress also.
It's all because of your inspiration, Prabhuji. Okay.
No. It's your only your humility to say so. You're inspiring me. You told this last week. I was amazed. I was speaking to my Siksha Guru, Balgovind Prabhu. I was telling Balgovind Prabhu. Should I tell you what I told Balgovind Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yesterday, I asked you to join Balgovind Prabhu's lecture, right?
Yes, I joined, Prabhuji.
You know why I asked? Simple. Balgovind Prabhu was asking, why are you sending Prasad Prabhu to attend my classes? I said, Prabhu, if somebody crosses 16 rounds, I cannot handle him. He is my guru. I cannot handle gurus. Right? So somebody is crossing 16 rounds, then I will send you to Balgovind Prabhu. Because Balgovind Prabhu can handle, can actually serve anyone with so much enthusiasm and purity. I am a small time preacher. I myself struggle with my rounds and my consciousness. But I'm amazed that Krishna is inspiring me by sending people like you, devotees like you. Sorry to use the word people. Devotees like you, who come into our satsang and take step after step. Ultimately, all our goal in the satsang is to get closer to Krishna in this life, Prabhu. There is nothing else. We want to become closer to Krishna. We want to become attached to Krishna. We want to somehow remember Krishna every day, every moment. Bring Krishna into our affairs. That is, and remove everything else in between us and Krishna. Everything else. Sarva dharman pratyajya. Everything has to go. Every nonsense, every thing that we thought is sense, just take it away. And just we, Guru, and Krishna. There are only three things which are eternal: Bhakti, Bhakta, and Bhagavan. These three things should only remain in our life. And if there is somebody who is inspiring us to be focused on these three things, then that person is our Guru. Guru means the person who removes all obstacles between us and Krishna. Guru never becomes an obstacle. He removes the obstacles between us and Krishna. And that Guru can come in the form of three forms. Somebody who inspires us to come towards Krishna consciousness. Somebody who inspires us by clearing our doubts while we are in Krishna consciousness, Siksha Gurus. And somebody who takes the responsibility of holding our Shika and taking us back home, back to Godhead. Right? So we should be eager to wait and see how many gurus will Krishna send into our life. Right? To move a mountain is a big effort. And to move a mountain of ego that we have inside us, false ego, it takes a big effort, very big effort. And for that, Krishna knows how many gurus he's going to send. He can send a guru in the form of a friend. He can send a guru in the form of a Siksha Guru. He can send a guru in the form of a Diksha Guru. And he can continue to send so many gurus around us to make us convinced that we have to get rid of this false ego and we should surrender to serve Krishna, right? So when in this whole ambit, if we think that we are the guru, then we are in the greatest illusion. We can never be a guru. I can never be a guru. Guru is a very, very sacred, position where Krishna is appearing in the form of a guru. Krishna, the Guru Tattva itself is empowerment of Krishna. Krishna himself creates this Tattva. Guru is different from God, but Guru is worshipable like God. Guru connects us to God. In a way, Guru is more important in spiritual life, sometimes than God also. Because he takes the responsibility of holding us throughout to take us to God. So I'm grateful to all the Gurus who are there in this satsang right now. I think there are 28 Gurus who are right now in this session. I don't know. I don't know the number, I'm just seeing the number, that 28. And I'm grateful to all of you that you are encouraging me. You are sent by Krishna. I might not be serving you in the best way possible, but please continue to pray for me that I progress towards Krishna consciousness and I learn properly whatever I'm trying to preach, and I implement properly whatever I preach. Right? So please pray for me. With that said, thank you once again, Prasad Prabhu, for joining. So we will continue from the last shloka that we discussed. Now we will go towards from Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga. We went. Now we are going from Karma Yoga. We are going to go towards the highest, which I will share now. From Nishkama Karma Yoga, that is to set up the right example. Yeah. So here, Nishkama Karma Yoga is third section of the third chapter. To set the right example, right? Now, if you see the distribution of shlokas here, the whole thing is distributed in 7 parts. 17 to 19, it's about a self-realized soul need not work, yet he works with an obligation with detachment because he wants to set the right example. And then Krishna talks about great exemplary people like Janaka, who have lived on this planet and exactly shown how to inspire common people, how to set the right example for common people on how to perform Karma Yoga. Then the next section is about a Karma Yogi works with detachment and doesn't disturb the ignorant men who think themselves as doers. Meaning he's very focused in his personal sadhana. Then 30 to 32 is working for Krishna and the results for the following and not following his orders. Right? We'll discuss that. 33 to 35 is about one should do one's own duty according to one's nature for purification instead of imitating others. Meaning we all have been given a particular special quality that we can engage in Krishna consciousness. We'll discuss about that. And 37 to 40 is about insatiable lust causes material entanglement, covers knowledge and influences in 3 degrees. Very, very important that when we are making progress, we should also know what are the threats, what are the big issues that we are going to face on the way. And lust is something that is discussed. And lust means to become self-centered in our enjoyment, keeping Krishna and devotees aside, right? And finally, 41 to 43 is one can conquer this lust by regulating the senses and by making the mind study by deliberate spiritual intelligence. So Karma Yoga teaches us how to become spiritually intelligent to perform our duty with detachment and with devotion, right? So one second, I'll also keep this on my other laptop beside so I can read shlokas as I go forward. Yes. So here, if I go and see the next shloka, which is if you have Bhagavad Gita in front of you, I'll put it up 1 second. I should just shared. Yes. Here in 3.17, Lord Krishna is saying, translation and purpose by His divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Please focus here because this is very, very applicable for us in our life. How we are going to apply Bhagavad Gita in our day-to-day life is what Krishna is explaining. in this chapter Karma Yoga. So here, Krishna is saying, but for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty. Right? So here, it's very important thing Krishna is explaining that we cannot imitate great souls. He's trying to explain this. We cannot imitate great souls, right? For example, we might say, "Oh, he is not doing any duty like me, so so maybe if I become a devotee, even I don't need a duty." But we should understand what is the duty. Ultimately, our duty is to serve Krishna. That is our Sanatana Dharma, is to serve Krishna, right? Now, you should understand that here Krishna is saying in the verse very clearly, but for one who takes pleasure in the self, meaning he is completely self-satisfied because he's connected to Krishna, whose human life is one of self-realization. He is completely, his treatment is over. Let me put it like that. So if you say, for example, in a hospital, if somebody is coming out of the ICU and is getting discharged, and you are still in the ICU, you tell that, hey, why are you not taking medicines? You're not taking medicines. Come on, you still have to take medicines. Well, he has taken his medicines. He's done. His treatment is over. He's completely treated. So he's going out. He doesn't need any medicines anymore. In the same way, we should not look at people who are self-realized and try to judge in our lines that, oh, they're not doing anything. They've already done. All the duties are meant to take us to a state where we become self-realized and connected to Krishna. Let's just mute everybody. Yeah. Right. Understand this very, very important thing. We are doing a job. We're getting married, taking care of the family. We are sons and we are parents. And we are taking care of our social responsibilities. All this is for what? All this is for us to become Krishna conscious. And once you become Krishna conscious, all these things are not needed. Meaning, even though they are done, but they are not done for our purification. We are done. We are purified, right? So such is the state of a person who is getting discharged from hospital. Such is the state of a person that Krishna is discussing here. He's saying, but for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, he's completely become Krishna conscious. For him, there is no duty. Meaning, he is not doing things for his purification. Understand this. Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, left Vrindavan not for his purification. Right? He left Vrindavan to serve Krishna. He is a Paramahamsa, Parvrajikacharya, Ashtottara, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is pure devotee coming from the spiritual world. He is completely purified. He doesn't have a duty. But he performs a duty. Why? Because he wants to set an example for us. He wants to help us. That is the reason he performs a duty. Right? He goes out of Vrindavan, out of the whole comfort zone. We call it comfort zone. But for pure devotees, the only comfort zone is where they serve Krishna. Where they are not serving Krishna, that's not a comfort zone. That's a very difficult zone in which they want to exist. Right? So here, Prabhupada is telling in the purport, Krishna conscious person is no longer interested in material activities and no longer takes pleasure in material arrangements like wine, woman, and similar infatuations. Right? He is not interested. For us to declare that we are Krishna conscious, we should reach that stage where these things don't touch us or these things don't affect our consciousness. Right? Now, sometime back, one person in a satsang, different satsang, he came to me and he was like, Prabhuji, out of lust, anger is over. Now I'm working on lust and envy. I said, wow, he was so confident in what he's saying, but it's not that easy, Prabhu. So, the whole attraction towards the material world is so dangerous. And multiple times our acharyas have told to be very careful, especially with the opposite sex, because that is the center of all sense gratification, right? Never try to fiddle between, what is it? Fire and butter. There is no experiment needed between fire and butter. Like somebody says, what are you doing? He says, sir, I'm experimenting. What are you experimenting? I'm experimenting if butter melts when fire comes. No experiment is needed. It's proven. So it's proven for time immemorial. Greatest of the sages have fallen down, have lost their spiritual life because they took this aspect very cheaply. So we should be very, very careful. We should be very, very careful about, about putting ourselves in a situation where we might get affected, right? Because Prabhupada is very clearly saying the person who engages in taking pleasure in any of these activities can never become Krishna conscious. भोगेश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया आपृत चेतसाम व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिर समाधौ न विद्यते, न विद्यते. It will not happen. It will not work, right? Bhoga and Aishwarya cannot go along with spiritual life. So we should be very careful, especially in our initial days of Krishna consciousness or initial lives of Krishna consciousness. We should be very careful of not getting into the entanglement of not taking a risk in our spiritual life. Somebody has written anything? You can see some chat. Okay. Yeah. Why am I saying this? Is because you should understand that sometimes we become too confident. We start thinking that it will not happen to me. I'm a very elevated devotee now. I'm chanting. Our false ego is so strong, Prabhuji and Matajis, that we even start judging our own guru. Our own guru we start judging. And we wouldn't even know how we are judging our guru. Let me tell you, if Prabhupada comes and stays in our house for one day, we will serve him. Second day, we will serve him. Third day, we will start commenting on him. Fourth day, we will start judging him. Fifth day, we will declare we are better than Prabhupada. That is false ego. Do you understand the greatness of false ego? So let's not play with the little purity that we have. So be very, very careful. In spiritual life, we should be very, very careful. Yes, it's a difficult thing to practice in Kali Yuga, but we should know what mistakes we are doing, and we should know how careful we should be, right? Now here, in additional explanation, it is being told, till Lord Krishna was going down the hierarchy, Karma Yoga to Karma Kandi to Vikarma. Now in this verse, Lord Krishna is directly going up the chain to the perfection of Karma Yoga. He's talking about the perfect Karma Yogi who doesn't have any duty to do. From here he comes down now. From here he starts explaining. Right? Does not need anything externally, does not mean as we devotees don't need anything. We need to serve our bodily necessities. We also need devotees association to continue our spiritual life. Right? Here when Lord Krishna is saying he doesn't need anything, we will continue to need devotees. Prabhupada himself told that I took the biggest risk. He told about himself. I took the biggest risk of leaving Vrindavan and going out of association for serving. But Prabhupada also told his guru is always with him. But he warned all the Krishna conscious sannyasis also that don't stay out of association. Don't think that you're strong enough for Maya to not touch you. Right? So we should be very, very cognizant of this instruction of Krishna, of Prabhupada, right? Let's go to the next verse. Yeah, I discussed this part of the purport. And the next shloka 318, Lord Krishna is saying, a self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties. A self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in discharge of his prescribed duties, nor has he any reason not to perform such work, nor has he any need to depend on any other living being. Right? Do you understand the thing that Krishna is conveying here? One, he's saying he has no purpose. A self-realized man. He's talking about the ultimate, not us, not me. He's talking about the ultimate person. He doesn't have a purpose, and he doesn't need any help also, by the way, because Krishna is with him. Krishna is always with him, right? And he's also saying, nor he has any reason to perform such work or not to perform such work. But he still performs such work only for the pleasure of Krishna. He's talking about great entities, great people, great devotees, like great personalities like Srila Prabhupada, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbarka Swami, Vishnu Swami. these great acharyas who have appeared in the past, they don't have any obligation, but they do it as a service to Krishna, right? So Krishna is starting the Karma Yoga discussion from there, and then he brings it to our practical applicability. Okay, just hold on there. Now, in purport, Lord Krishna, Lord Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada is saying, a Krishna conscious man does not take shelter of any person, man or demigod. Whatever he does in Krishna consciousness is sufficient to discharge of his obligation, right? It doesn't have to. Let me I'll read the whole purport. Maybe that's good, because it's a little deep subject matter. 1 minute. I'm sharing the screen. Yes. Now here, let us see what Prabhupada is saying. He's saying, a self-realized man is no longer obliged to perform any prescribed duty, save and except activities in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not inactivity either, as will be explained in the following verses. In bold, it is being said, a Krishna conscious man does not take shelter of any person, man or demigod. Whatever he does in Krishna consciousness is sufficient to discharge of his obligation, right? Most important, it doesn't mean that, don't go by the direct word and say that, it doesn't need support of devatas. Of course, he is worshipable. He worships and he has tremendous respect for everybody in Krishna's creation, including the devatas, but he completely depends upon the empowerment of the Supreme Lord and the blessings of the devotees. He completely depends. And then he performs his activities, right? And furthermore, it is explained, with each mouthful of food that a hungry person takes, with each mouthful of food that a hungry person takes, three effects simultaneously accomplished. He obtains satisfaction, he is nourished, and his hunger ceases. Right? Similarly, surrendered souls who are engaged in performance of bhajana simultaneously experience three effects. Number one, awakening of bhakti, which ultimately develops into prema, direct manifestation of Bhagavan in the beloved form, and detachment from the material objects. Right? So here we should understand that when we attend sadhu sangha, satsang, three things automatically happen. One is our awakening happens. Simultaneously, we get darshan of the Supreme Lord, and simultaneously we also get detached from the material world affairs. Right? What people do the mistake is, here we should understand, people try to detach themselves by not attaching themselves. Detachment is a byproduct of attachment, right? When we get attached to Krishna, we get detached from material world. But don't do the mistake of detaching from the material world without attaching yourself to Krishna. Improve your chanting, improve your understanding of philosophy, and try to become the best servant of Krishna. Automatically, you will lose interest in material affairs. It will happen. Of course, we should also pray that Krishna, please remove me from this jigsaw puzzle of material life, which never seems to be ending. Please help me. But our main focus should be on the Krishna Prem. Any questions on this? It's a very intriguing subject. Any questions that anybody has? Are you all understanding what we're discussing here?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Chandramouli here. I have a question.
Prabhuji.
You are saying we have to detach from the material world and attach to the Krishna, right? So, to live in this material world, there should be some attachments also should be there.
There should be some what?
Some attachment also should be there, right? To live in this material world.
Yes.
So you are saying detachment from the world. I did not fully understand for this.
Okay, so see, Prabhu, there should be some attachment to what? In connection with Krishna, the attachment should be there. Because without being attached, you can't perform a job also. We cannot perform office work also. There has to be some attachment. It's needed. Without being attached to the child, a mother cannot serve the child. Some attachment is needed. But the mother should never forget that the child is given by Krishna. And the whole purpose of that attachment or the service is to make the child into a devotee. The whole reason why we are doing work in the office is to earn money so we can spend that money for making our family Krishna conscious. That we should not forget.
Okay.
Keeping Krishna in the center is very, very important. We have to be we will get attached, obviously.
Yeah.
Arjuna was also attached to his chivalrous, arms and the dhanush, wand, everything, all the armory that he had. He has to be. How can he perform the war?
Yes,
But
correct.
in the beginning of the war itself, he declared that, "Hey Keshava, I am doing this war only for your pleasure, as per your order." That should not be forgotten.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. I'll tell you one example. This example may be uh, very personal, in the sense, very, very close to our satsang. There was one Mataji in our satsang, who was very passionate coming to Krishna consciousness. Very passionate. I mean, you can tell that attending every satsang, attending every little discourse, attending and reading and clarifying, and everything was perfect. In fact, the pace at which she was progressing was unbelievable. She was chanting 16 rounds and going very, very perfect, steady. I will not name her. You don't need to know the name. Nobody needs to. But she did one mistake. She took association for granted, right? And I told her that don't do that mistake. I could sense. I'm seeing this. I've seen hundreds of devotees who reached 16 rounds and left Krishna consciousness because of one offense of judging devotees, right? Judging who is Krishna, whom Krishna is sending around you. She had problems accepting some people the way they are in the satsang. And I told her many times, don't have to be thinking those things. I'm like, no, Prabhuji, but he's coming to satsang. He doesn't behave like a devotee. No, Prabhuji, she's coming to satsang. Why is she still attached to those things? No, Prabhuji, why are this? Why is that? Why is that? Why is that? Well, it's a hospital. What do you expect in a hospital? Somebody is a leprosy patient, somebody is a polio patient, somebody is a cancer patient. What do you expect? I was trying to explain her, focus on your devotion. Mataji, you're doing very good and you're going very fast, but I'm worried that you are judging the association. I told her, and immediately the ego, false ego, it comes that that sarpa, that immediately comes. The thing is that in Krishna consciousness, we are all good until there is some comment made, or there is some instruction coming, or there is some direct assessment happening. Immediately, that snake will immediately come. The Sheshanag will be like this, it will come. That's what happened. I told her, I'm sorry, Mataji, don't judge me for what I'm saying. I'm telling you for your good. You don't have to mm, think about those things. You are so nicely progressing. You're already in the 6th canto of Bhagavatam, right? Studying, going forward. No, I'm judging. I'm judging others. Krishna doesn't like that. Krishna has sent all of us for treatment in this hospital. And why are we here sitting that, who are we to judge? We're all patients, so let us behave like patients. But the mistake that she did is she avoided association. She felt, I'm totally fixed now. She said, I think I'll come once in a while when I have time. I have job, I have this, I have that. I've tried to explain her, don't do that. At one point, see how it goes. Huh? See, there was a time when she used to call me for every little, what do you call that, difficulty that she faced in spiritual life. And I used to explain it. She used to really implement also. And there came a point where I am trying to tell her, please come to satsang because it will help you. You are losing touch with association. It's getting difficult if you stay like that for too long. And there came a point when I told her that be fearful of Maya. I only told her, be fearful of Maya. Right? I'm also telling all of you that be fearful of Maya. And Prabhupada told to all his disciples, my only big problem is you don't know how powerful Maya is. Prabhupada told this to his disciples. Who are we? Prabhupada was telling this to sannyasis, that be very fearful of Maya. Of course, here Krishna is saying, get attached so you'll automatically get detached. But to remain detached, you should be fearful of the material world also. Right? And because I told, immediately her answer was, Prabhuji, why are you telling Krishna consciousness in such a negative way? Why don't you tell get attached to Krishna? Why are you telling be fearful of Maya? This is what I don't like, when people bring fear into religion. She started discussing like that. And I did not know what to tell. How to explain this person that both are needed. There should be attachment towards Krishna, and there should be fearful, some kind of a fearful feeling towards Maya, that Maya can attack me. And in spite of all those things, she's gone, right? And there are many such I've seen in my little spiritual life. Like I personally, when I started, we were like, I think 12 families, 10 or 12 families, maybe something like 10 or 12 families. We started together in satsang. Like you all came, you came in a bigger number, obviously, 70 or 80, maybe 100. And then we saw that, so many families, their number of rounds in the initial times were very high. They picked up Krishna consciousness very strongly. But the only mistake which they made is they started finding faults in others. Not that my family was exemplified or anything. We also had our troubles, tough times. But somehow Krishna saved us. That he gave us the vision that how fallen we are. So remembering that we never found faults in others. You know that story, right? When Dronacharya, I think, asks Duryodhan and Yudhishthir to go and find anybody who is better than you in the kingdom. And Yudhishthir comes back and says that I could not find anybody who is, I could find everybody is better than me in this kingdom. That was his humility. And Duryodhan came back and told, I could not find anybody who is better than me. I am the best, right? So the vision with which you see things, the same people Duryodhan saw, the same people Yudhishthir saw. But the only difference was one went to learn and to understand the greatness of others. One only went to judge. Because you have the judging mentality, you will never see good in others. So fortunately, me and my wife, we sometimes feel we are so fortunate that we are continuing. And so many families who were so nicely progressing. In fact, we were inspired by them, looking at them. They left. They left because they took it cheaply. They never understood the greatness of these devotees. Right? The tendency to judge others and ridicule others is a poison in our Krishna consciousness. Even in the same satsang, trying to be the most popular, trying to be the most known, trying to be the most active. You should not be. At the same time, you should be enthusiastic in serving. You should be enthusiastic in sharing. So there are two aspects, two sides of the mirror, right? One is you looking at people who are enthusiastic in satsang. And second, the people who are enthusiastic, how they should think. So people who are enthusiastic should think that Krishna is giving me more and more service. So I'm trying to serve Krishna. Please save me from any pride. Please save me so that I remain a servant always. And without any expectation, they should serve. Without any expectation. I'm doing this, nobody is reacting to me. I'm doing this, nobody is understanding me. You are nobody to be understood. You have to just serve. Serve. Peacefully serve without any expectation from others. And others, when they look at somebody else who is very enthusiastic, trying to ridicule that person, saying that, oh, why is he so enthusiastic? He thinks he's a great devotee. What is his problem? He is also new. By the way, he has all these faults. He eats onion garlic also. He goes to movies also. But still he tries to behave like, why are you judging? But you don't have a business to judge. You only have a business to get inspired, looking at the good qualities of the devotee. Satsang is a very, very sacred institution, a sacred gathering, which is also very dangerous because now you are dealing with direct property of Krishna. Devotees. Devotees are direct properties of Krishna, and whichever level of consciousness they are. So our only business here is to encourage each other. Encourage each other, not to judge each other. And remember, we should also understand how precious are these people in our life. How precious are they? And this problem of judging others and losing taste towards satsang can happen to the most advanced person also. Most advanced person also. Never fall into the trap of Maya. That is how Maya enters into a satsang. That is how Maya enters and destroys our spiritual life. right? Be very, very careful about this one aspect. I'm pleading to all of you, be very careful. This can be even after 20 years of you being in Krishna consciousness. What is this, 2020? If you are alive to 2040 and we are still devotees practicing Krishna consciousness, even in 2040, Maya is equally and rather more equipped to make us fall by this one aspect of judging devotees. Who has come to temple? My Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami, beautifully explains to the temple congregation that when you see somebody coming to temple, understand that a guest of Krishna has come to temple, and we are here to take care of the guest of Krishna. He doesn't say, "Oh, fallen soul has come, go purify him, go take care of him, give him signs of civilization, make him into a devotee, shave his head, put a shika, put this dress, make him into a..." No, that is not the idea. The idea is serve. Somebody has come, please serve. Somebody has been sent by Krishna, please serve. That's all. You're not here to sit and judge. And when that person comes and enthusiastically wants to serve, please assist him in whatever he wants to do. Be very careful, because this is a sacred institution. It's a personal property of Krishna. This is international society of whose? Krishna's.
Krishna's consciousness.
It's his institution. It's his company, right? And we are employees in that company. And none of us are bosses. He's the only boss. Be very careful. Never judge anybody. Always feel that you are getting inspired from others. When I see, those questions by Teja Prabhu every day, when I see other devotees answering to it, I feel inspired. I see, oh, very good. This is very nice. Of course, too much sharing sometimes also dilutes the amount of focus. But who knows? There might be a person who is reading everything. So if it is serving that one person, that's enough. But we don't have to judge. But if there is a correction needed, do it one-on-one, right? And do it with a humility, with lot of explanation as to why you feel something is some way, right? It's very, very sensitive, Prabhu. Krishna consciousness is a very difficult path, because we are not well equipped to deal with pure devotees. You know what I'm saying? We are
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
very vulnerable. We can treat devotees like outside people. We can just treat them. We can forget the whole reason why we came together, and then start treating devotees like outside people. It's over. Finish. Your Krishna consciousness is over. The day you start doing it, Krishna consciousness is over. Krishna will immediately remove you. Krishna will remove you by removing interest towards him from you, and you will be out of satsang. In front of you, it will happen. Even though you have heard this lecture today, still it will happen. And while you are leaving the satsang, you will still feel that what you're doing is right. That is Maya. Maya's power is, it's very dangerous, right? So let's go further here to the next shloka. So Krishna is talking about a pure, perfect devotee here. So let's go to the next shloka here. Yes. Here in 3.19, Krishna is saying, therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty. For by working without attachment, one attains the supreme. This we discussed, right? We should do it as a matter of duty. Our entire devotional activities and all the activities that we have to perform to maintain this body as a duty. But don't be attached. For by working without attachment, one attains supreme. It's very, very important. And in the purport, Prabhupada is saying here, to be a good man or a non-violent man is a personal attachment. But to act on behalf of Supreme is to act without attachment for the result. Wow. Can you imagine what Prabhupada is saying? Prabhupada is saying, see, to be a good man, How many people want to be a good man here, good woman here? Yes, I want to be Haribol, I want to be a good man. But Prabhupada is saying to be a good man or a non-violent man is still a personal attachment. It's still a personal attachment. But to act on behalf of the Supreme is to act without attachment of the result. Meaning, all the people whom we consider as important in our life might reject us. sometimes when we are serving Krishna, all of them might reject us. All of them might reject us. So, are you a good man or a bad man? Praveen Prabhu, you're there? I want to hear Praveen Prabhu's voice. Hare Krishna. Subbarao Prabhu, Satya Prabhu. Nobody is there? I don't know.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Can you hear me?
Subbarao Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. So, you can please try to explain, Prabhuji. My question here was, people might reject you for the way you're acting in Krishna consciousness. That makes you a good man or a bad man?
It has to be independent of that.
It has to be independently done. Hari bol. That's what is the whole point, right?
It
We are
has to be
Krishna's
independent.
man. We are
Yeah.
not a good man or a bad man. We are Krishna's man. Like Prabhu,
Exactly. Exactly.
you know, Santosh Aditya Prabhu was saying, we are Krishna's man. And don't worry that, you know, by being Krishna's man, you'll be bad to others. Actually, you'll be the best to others. You'll be the best to others. As long as you want to be good man in front of others, you might do things which may not be good also, right? Wherever there is a personal motive, you might do some things which look to be good or temporarily good, but in longer term, it will not remain good. Right?
By wanting to be one or other, you are trying to say like you are in control of things. When you think you are in control of your God.
Correct. One or the same ahankara is continuing. Aham kara. I am the doer. That is what is continuing. I am in control of things. Right? So, to be Krishna conscious means to follow the instruction of Krishna properly under guidance of a guru. That's very, very needed, very much needed. Otherwise, in the guise of Krishna consciousness, we can become terrorists also. Shooting everybody who comes in front of us saying you are not Krishna's devotee, so I shoot you. Tap. Right? That is also wrong. So we should be under the guidance of a guru and we should serve Krishna for Krishna's pleasure. Ultimately, it's not about being a good man or a bad man. In Russia, there was a case on Bhagavad Gita that this book made a person called Arjuna a warrior to kill so many thousands of people. So it's a violent book. You know, that case went on. You know, I don't know. We won the case. ISKCON. We went and we won the case. That made Bhagavad Gita more popular in Russia, and there are more devotees in Russia than in India now. So Krishna also plans such things, you know. But you should understand that it was not Arjuna being a good man or a bad man. That was not the whole equation there. Arjuna was Krishna's man. Arjuna was a devotee of Krishna. And ultimately, when you act on behalf of Krishna, you go beyond that good or bad platform and you become Shuddha Sattva. You become the pure goodness. Right? Where you've done it and when you're eternally with the Lord, you are eternally praised along with the Lord for what you've done. You understood what I'm saying? Yeah. So in Krishna consciousness, there will be those times when it's about, am I being good to others? Am I being bad to others? It's not about being good or bad. It's about being Krishna's devotee. And it's about most importantly, respecting everybody, not rejecting anybody, and tolerating everybody, and trying to be Krishna conscious, strict to yourself. These fundamentals, if you remember, you can never be bad to others. At the same time, you'll be the favorite of Krishna. Right? Let's go to the next shloka. Now, next shloka, Krishna is saying, kings such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. Now, here Krishna is not talking about, you know, the ordinary person like me. He is talking about pure devotees. He's starting the Karma Yoga chapter at the highest level. He's saying pure devotees don't have to work. They don't take anybody else's shelter to perform their work. They're completely detached. And he's saying they only do it to set an example. right? He's telling about karma yoga, karma yogis, the pure devotees. He's talking about them. How pure devotees perform their karma is what he's explaining in 3rd chapter, right? Kings such as Janaka are performing the prescribed duties to set an example for ordinary people how to perform, even though they don't need to, right? They still set the highest example. Now, here in the purport, Prabhupada is saying, although one is situated in Krishna consciousness, although one who is situated in Krishna consciousness may not have any interest in the world, he still works to teach the public how to live and how to act. I'll show the purport. It's very, very important purport for us to apply in our practical life, right? See the bolded portion there. Although one who is situated in Krishna consciousness may not have any interest in this world, he still works to teach the public how to live and how to act. Experienced persons in Krishna consciousness can act in such a way that others will follow, and this is explained in the following verse. Right? This shloka, beginning with Karmanyeva, presents evidence about the importance of sadachara, proper conduct, sadachara. Right? Very important. Like we as devotees, we have a big responsibility of how we conduct ourselves with the outside world. Say, for example, you have to work long hours in an office. I'm going through that right now. Not that I'm saying I'm the perfect devotee, but I'm telling you, it might happen that you have to work for long hours in the office. So how are you going to apply that in bhakti? Because nectar of instruction says endeavoring too much for material results is also a mode of ignorance. So am I endeavoring too much? Am I working day and night for mundane things? How should I understand this? Is Suma Mataji on the call? I would want her perspective. She's a very passionate person to work and serve. Or Nirupa Mataji? I actually don't know who are on the call, so I'm sorry, I'm just calling names. Inspired to hear from some. Ravin Prabhu, you are there?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I'm here, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I'm calling your name. Please forgive me.
Hare Prabhuji, ఇప్పుడు ఒక 5 minutes back somebody called me. I just took the call, so I didn't hear what you said, Prabhuji. Sorry.
No problem, no problem.
చెప్పండి,
No,
Prabhuji.
my question was, about when we are forced to work hard in our material life, and we also know that endeavoring too much in material life is in mode of ignorance, right? In Nectar of Instruction, it is explained. Rupa Goswami explains that endeavoring too much for material results, material gains, takes us into mode of ignorance. So how do I apply this in life? Whereby being a devotee, should I work extra hours or should I not? Or if I do, then how do I know whether I'm actually entering slowly into mode of ignorance? How do I set a right example at work?
Yeah, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, I'll just tell my experience. I had multiple kind of ideas on this one. I don't know whether they're correct or not. In the beginning, I used to think differently, and then I heard some lectures. I also asked you this question many times. Most of the people, the question is, I need to earn money to, support my family. I need to be good at work. And when I go to work, it's all, Rajaguna. I need to be passionate. I need to show that kind of thing at work. And then, and sometimes at your work environment, actually pushes you to be more, in the mode of maybe, passion, I would say, because especially corporate world, you can't be in a sattva-guna, mellow nature, because you have to deal with different kind of people. And I was confused in the beginning a lot after entering Krishna consciousness, like how do I behave in a work versus how do I balance my spiritual life versus work life. And I actually in the beginning thought, no, for me to be in a mode of goodness, I have to be exhibiting same qualities at work as well, and I cannot be in two minds. But I was then I started showing those qualities at work, and people started saying, hey, what's happening to you? Like, for example, you have to do yearly reviews, and when I go to my manager with all the people's reviews, everybody used to say, hey, why are you not differentiating good people, like people who worked hard versus like you're coming with equal things, you're being too nice, you're wishing too much well for them, like we need to differentiate, you need to kind of show the difference. And I think it's like it came from my good nature and like whatever I'm hearing from the lectures and all the stuff, and that was not taken well at work. So the way I was taking that is earn enough money so that your family is taken care, and like spend that much time that is good enough for you to have that time at spiritual life, spiritual life at work, at home. So like morning you spend like at least 2-3 hours aarti, doing aarti and like prasadam and everything. 9 to 5 work. When you go to work, don't mix things, right? You be at work and like show at work as if there is nothing happening outside that. And then you come back again, you spend time with family plus your spiritual life, and weekends dedicated to spiritual life. So there is a balance, Prabhuji, and you have to maintain that, and you have to strictly demark those timelines and days that you have to spend time on your spiritual life, and there work shouldn't enter. And do as much as possible that you need to do at work, but don't mix things. And when you have to be at home and doing your own growth of spiritual life, you should spend that much time. Don't mix both unless until it is forced to. For example, they ask us to go to recruitment trips every weekend. A lot of people take this opportunity every weekend they go. It's not mandatory every week, but it's mandatory once in a week in a month. So I just take that as much as they ask. That is, that's how I balance. So I take that as a balance. That's my experience of balancing my work and being passionate at work versus being spiritual at home. And yeah, that's my experience, Prabhuji.
Thank you for sharing, Prabhuji. Anybody else? I know there are many others who also work. I want this session to be very applicable and very relevant for today, right? Because we are forced to work in a very passionate way. At the same time, we know that applying too much passion in our material work will take us to mode of ignorance. So how do we balance this? What is the one criteria that can help you judge when you fall into this trap? Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Who is this?
Prabhuji, Shivaji Prabhuji.
Shivaji Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can you be a little louder? For some reason, I am not able to hear you.
Yeah, Prabhuji, you could able to hear me?
Yeah, little better, but not as louder as clear as Praveen Prabhu earlier. But still, we can go on. Go ahead.
Just a minute, Prabhuji. Hello, Prabhuji.
Yeah, it's lot better. Yes.
Prabhuji, end of the day, actually, it is our choice, kada Prabhuji. Mano etla ye work chesna, em chesna, livelihood chesna, em chesna. Ultimately, spirituality prevail avalante. It is up to your free will, kada. మీరు ఏ వర్క్ చేసినా ఏం చేసినా ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద డే మీకు తెలుసు, మీ లిమిటేషన్స్ మీకు తెలుసు, మీ డిమార్కేషన్ మీకు తెలుసు, అన్ని తెలుసు. వీ షుడ్ నాట్ ఫైండ్ ఫర్ ఎనీ ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ పర్పస్ యాజ్ ఫర్ యాజ్ మై కన్సర్న్. వెన్ యూ ఆర్ ఇన్ టు కృష్ణ కాన్షియస్నెస్, మీరు తెలుసు, మీరు లైవ్లీహుడ్ కన్నప్పుడు మీరు ఎంతవరకు చేయాలో అంతవరకే చేయాలి. అంతేగాని నేను అది కుదరలేదు ఇది కుదరలేదు లేదని మనమేమి ఇంకా వంకలు ఇవ్వకూడదు. ప్రభుజీ, యూ హావ్ టు బి వెరీ ఆనెస్ట్ అండ్ యువర్ లిమిటేషన్ సిన్సియర్లీ.
Yes. Very nice answer, Shivaji Prabhu. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else also wants to share? I know Prasad Prabhu is a very 24-hour working person. That's what another Prabhuji told me. I forgot his Prabhuji's name, who also used to come with Prasad Prabhu.
Probably Mahendra Prabhu told you.
Mahendra Prabhu told me that Prasad Prabhu is a very passionate person, right? So he works and makes everybody work. I don't know now how is he chanting 64 rounds. I don't know.
Saturday, Sunday, Prabhuji, he has decided to do 64 rounds, irrespective of whatever it is. So now my baseline is 16 rounds I need to complete.
Yes, Prabhuji. It's basically we just need to differentiate, Prabhuji. When you are actually in the Krishna conscious, okay, when you are spending time with Krishna, so you should not be thinking anything about the work. Okay, when you want to work, so just keep off everything and then just focus it on work. One thing which I have really liked is I think Satyadev Prabhuji has sent one particular link on mind management, Prabhuji. Okay, so that actually really helps. So how do you differentiate, okay, between doing and becoming awareness? So I encourage everyone to go through that particular presentation. I think Satyadev Prabhuji has forwarded one presentation.
Oh, wonderful. Why don't you share it in the group once again? We'll all hear it. Definitely there's
Sure.
something to learn.
Yeah. I have seen that it is going to be very useful, especially in current environment. Yeah, I'll try to share it again. Yeah.
Yes. Anybody else?
You just need to
share?
compartmentalize. Yeah.
Yeah. So anybody else wants to share? See, you remember my question, right? My question is very simple. Working too much for material endeavor leads you to mode of ignorance. Knowing that, how do you balance in today's work life where it is all about pushing too much and working long hours? How do you balance it? How do you know what you're doing is leading you towards mode of ignorance, or is it leading you towards Krishna? Anybody else?
Prabhuji, I have few comments. See, whenever you are getting that type of situations, we have to balance our life, Prabhuji.
Who is speaking? Who is speaking? 1 minute. Sorry, I'm not able to.
Chandramouli Prabhuji.
Chandramouli Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yeah. So whenever you are getting this type of situations, we have to balance our both spiritual and material life, material life also. So we have to stretch when you are getting more work, we have to stretch the hours, whatever you are getting by the time, and you have to suppose if you are if you are sleeping for 8 hours daily, you have to reduce it for 6 hours, and spend the 2 hours for Krishna consciousness. If you are not getting fine time, you have to reduce your sleeping time, and you have to do chanting. You have to complete it on the day itself. So sometimes I'm getting like that. I used to do like this, Prabhuji. So I will reduce my sleeping time, or I will reduce, if I spend 1 hour time for reading newspaper, I will reduce to 15 minutes only. That way I will manage, Prabhuji. But it will not be happen like always. It will not be like that. Sometimes I don't know whether it is Krishna's testing on us or like that. So
See, the question that I'm asking is very difficult to answer also. I know that, because it's most of the time situation driven, right? And the situation, in that situation, Paramatma will guide you. If we are sincere to Krishna in our sadhana, Paramatma will guide you what to do. But in general, I want to give a framework for you to implement, which I try to do most of the time, which I've learned from my seniors. So I'm trying to first understand your perspectives. Then I want to maybe share a little of that, which might help you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Teja
Hello.
Prabhu. Hari
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Good to hear your voice.
I have sent two messages in the chat. Please see them.
Okay, I'll read it. What you have sent.
Yeah.
Teja Prabhu is saying, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Actually, to keep ourselves afloat and enjoy what we do in the material world throughout the day, we have to keep Krishna behind us always. And though we may be working in the material world for our livelihood, we should actually keep thinking of Lord Shri Krishna only. And it's my experience that the expected work keeps happening with our minimum involvement and with great quality. Haribol, yes, that I accept. Yes, when we actually depend on Krishna, he manages a lot of things that are impossible for us to manage. Just like he managed the situation of Draupadi, right? When all those Durvasa Muni and all the rishis came to eat at her house, and she had already finished her meal, and the Akshay Patra was completely empty, and there was nothing to give. What did Krishna do? They just depended, and Krishna came and filled the tummies so much that they ran away even before they came to the house. Right? So when we depend on Krishna, he will definitely ease our official situation, he will change. Prabhu, there is nothing in the world Krishna can't do. Remember that. There's nothing in the world Krishna can't do. But again, the question that I'm trying to discuss here is about how do you know whether your actions in working late hours are leading you towards mode of ignorance, or are they still keeping you focused on Krishna conscious life? How do you know? How do you judge that? And how do you balance it? What is the thought? What is the thought you should keep on thinking in your mind that keeps you awakened towards what you're doing? Uday Prabhu, is Uday Prabhu on the call? He's there, right?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm there in the call. Yes.
Udayananda Prabhu ki jai. Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Prabhu, you want to share
Yes,
something?
Prabhu. I mean, yeah. Subara Prabhuji, Praveen Prabhuji, Teja Prabhuji were like, and even Iyer Prabhuji were giving good knowledge. I think it's absolutely correct, Prabhuji. Whatever we do, we just keep Krishna in the center. So even if you're put in the, the roasting project, just keep Krishna in the center. And Krishna will take care of everything. So as long as we are, when we are trying to do, yes, of course, as devotees, we have to work more harder to get good name in the society, because someone should not say, hey, this guy has become a devotee and now he's gonna escape from work and all. So we have to work more harder if we become devotees, but at the same time, keep Krishna in the center.
Yes. But my question is, how do you balance? Krishna in the center, I'm hearing all the time.
Yes, true.
My question is, how do you know whether you're keeping Krishna in the center, or is that a explanation which you are going towards mode of ignorance? How do you know?
Yes, Prabhu. I mean, I think in one of the lectures when I heard from you, so whatever we do, if that work is dedicated, for example, let's say, I've got a better opportunity at the cost of 1 more hour of extra work. When I try to earn that to spend for devotees and their service, that gets purified. Right? So that's how I can keep Krishna in the center.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And Mataji is not speaking. What
Yes,
about?
Prabhu, I'll give. I mean, we are watching in the YouTube TV in the hall, and I am in the Zoom in the computer. Prabhu. I'll give to Mataji. Prabhuji wants to talk to you.
No, even Mataji, it's not about. I'm not talking just about. Remember, I'm not talking about office work here. It's about work, right? Even the great work that as housewives Matajis do at home, when they are completely, burnt, for 14 hours, 15 hours in a day, and they don't know where is this going. Am I doing too much, or am I doing? What am I doing? Is it rightly going in direction of Krishna, or where is it going? How do you judge?
Yes, Prabhuji. So a few days back, we had this question as to understand how we are progressing, irrespective of doing so much of work in this material world, whether it comes to our professions or dealing with all kinds of people. So then this question we had specifically asked His Holiness Rompad Swami Maharaj. So
Wonderful.
Maharaj said, you are progressing or you're doing well to the extent that you are remembering Krishna throughout the day. So if in spite of doing a lot of work, which ultimately actually results in helping you in your Krishna conscious journey when you earn for the family, or whether you're doing other work which is bringing people closer to Krishna, it is always, if you're remembering Krishna more, it means it is a progress. So that is what what we are taking as a compass or a guideline in our work when we do, Prabhuji.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. His Holiness Rompad Swami Maharaj ki jai. Maharaj is known for his personal attention that he gives to families, and his advisors are also, he works very closely with Grahasthas and helps them balance. So I'm very happy to hear His Holiness's answer, to this question. Anybody else? Can I hear from Shilpa Mataji? She is also somebody who works at the same time, balances. How do you know that you're spending more time or less time, or which direction you're going?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhuji, like most of the answers that I have been hearing from Prabhujis and Matajis, to some extent, I personally feel what Srujana Mataji has told. I'm happy actually that the answer is, I got the answer for what I was also seeking. So this particular lockdown has actually made me work more than 15-16 hours every day.
16 hours. 16 hours.
Yeah, because office hours is like 10 hours minimum. And then after that, there are these daily chores that we have to do at home,
Krishna.
morning and after. And then we have to take care of the kid also. Uh, their practice, their online sessions, we have to participate in that. We have to help them. So as you said, yes, it's like 15-16 hours. We are completely burnt out, literally. But having said that,
I'm feeling very sorry that you went through such a tough time.
yeah, because as you know, we are in education, and then primarily focus was in classroom, and now suddenly because of this situation, we have to convert everything online. So there was a bit of, I mean, not bit, but then lot of work for us to come online. So yeah, we had to put in extra hours and all. But having said that, um, see, the way I was practicing all these days is, uh, if you look at the history, like the last 6 to 7 months, I have been just focusing on chanting. Maybe 1 to 2 rounds only just before leaving to office, and gradually I just increased it to 4. And in the lockdown, at least I'm able to make it to 8. And in the evenings every day I am practicing to sing Narsing Arati and other bhajans also. So we have this bhajan challenges and so on. So trying to learn and implement. I'm glad to say that I would do that individually, but now my family is joining for the past 1 month in bhajan and arati. So it makes me feel happy that I am able to balance, although it is a bit hard to manage both the things, both work and this one. But yeah, while cleaning the vessels, again, we can chant, or we can play some bhajans online, so that we are always in that mode and not deviate too much. But yes, certainly there are times which are quite demanding, and we have to stretch. But yes, always thinking about that, yeah, I'm not able to spend enough time. I wanted to learn something, but today I could not learn. So that itself is continuously thinking about Krishna consciousness. So that's where I felt like answer what Sujana Mataji has given is making me feel at least little better. Yeah, but then yeah, there are some regrets also that yeah, I'm not able to do my 16 rounds. I don't know when it will happen, but then yeah, I will strive to do that. So yes, some kind of
Matji,
balance
that should
is required.
happen. That is the most important thing to happen. Please, we don't want you to be remaining here. When we are going, we all should go back together.
Yes, 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 Prabhuji.
Get that 16 going. It will happen.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank
Okay.
you.
So I know that I'm very grateful that all of you have shared your understanding. So here is what I wanted to share. Okay, the thing is that, see, we need mode of passion to do certain activities, especially at workplace. We need mode of passion. Even to do the warriors need mode of passion. We can't be in mode of goodness and go and kill somebody, in a war field, right? I mean, I've explained this, that even when two warriors, they come in front of each other, first they abuse each other so that the mode of passion first comes out, and then the war starts, right? So to work in a workplace, mode of passion is needed. There's no doubt about it. But now the question that I was asking is, how do you know that the extra work that I'm doing, working for many, many hours, is leading me to mode of ignorance, or is it actually leading me towards Krishna, or how am I balancing it? That was my question, right? So here is one of the ways that might help you. I'm just trying to put a framework into place so that you can apply it depending on your situation. There are two aspects to it. One is outsider's pressure, and one is outsider's pressure, and second is your pressure that you are putting to yourself, right? So there are two things. So outsider's pressure and your pressure. So how much your superiors are putting pressure on you, that is outsider's pressure. Superiors or colleagues or whatever, the pressure, the organizational pressure that comes onto you, and the pressure that you are trying to put yourself, right? So there are two sides, right? Now in these two sides also, there is another two criteria that you have to understand. That one is need, second is greed, right? Need and greed, these two things, right? So let's understand. You have to assess the situation like that always. Organizational pressure is coming onto you. You have to see whether it is purely meant on greed or there is an element of need also. Right? You should know that. And you have been given good intelligence. Nobody needs to guide you to understand how is it. Like for example, there is organizational greed that comes forward and says, you have to take one more project also, because this is more, what do you call that? This is, we can make more money, or we can go further. We're actually in a good situation. You know how the organization is in a good situation, bad situation, but you should know whether that particular objective is purely meant on greed or there is a need. For example, the whole organization is going down the drain. Now you got a project, and this project, you are apparently the person who can actually take care of it. So if you don't take that up right now, the organization support that it can get by this taking this new project will go down, and the organization itself will suffer, and a lot of people might lose their jobs. It's a need, right? But everything is right, but you want to grow more. That is greed. Right? That is organizational side of the pressure. And from your side also, now your side, right? Why are you working hard? What is that a need or is that a greed? You should know that, right? Greed, that, hey, I want to achieve some position. I want to get into that position. And I think by doing this, I'll get into that position. I'll impress my boss. I'll send an email 12:30 in the night, so he knows that I'm working till 12:30 in the night. That's greed. You know that. You cannot cheat your Paramatma. You know what you're doing. But need, this is the time when the organization needs me. I have to work hard. Maybe it is 14 hours a day, 16 hours a day, but I have to do it because this is the time I need to do it. Right? And as a devotee, you set a right example by doing that also. So when you see a need in coming from the outside, when you see a need coming from inside also, and the need is more important there, where the situation needs you to work harder, you have to set the right example by working hard. But you should do your minimal thing that you should do is finish your chanting. That much you should do. Right? That much you should do. You cannot compromise chanting, saying that, I'm busy. No, that is not acceptable. Because chanting is a commitment to Krishna. If it means I have to switch off my mobile, go sit in a secluded place, not connected to anything, in 1.5 hours to 1 hour 45 minutes, I can finish my chanting. And then come out and work for 16 hours in a day till night 2 o'clock, no problem. But while you do that extra work, the consciousness, the intelligence that should apply is to understand whether I'm trying to fulfill the need or the greed. Personally mine and also organizations. I should have the intelligence to see. And God has given that intelligence to us. If the organization is in need, I should work hard. And that will not lead to mode of ignorance because I'm seeing and doing that extra work with right consciousness. That I want to help the organization, which in turn gives shelter to so many employees, so many families. So I have to support it. And the same thing, even for me, myself, am I doing this extra for a greed to grow or for the need that it needs right now? Does it mean we are against devotees to grow in organization? No, but we are more dependent on Krishna for giving that growth. We will do our hard work, we'll be sincere, and we'll wait for Krishna to recognize or get that recognition, and we'll grow. And even in that growth situation, we will still use that position in service of Krishna. So two things, external, internal. External, again, assessment based on need or greed. Internal also based on need or greed. When these two things, you see it in a proper perspective, and then you are working hard day and night, you know what you're doing is right or wrong. But devotees cannot say that, I'm a devotee, I have to give more time towards my devotion, so I'll not work hard, even when organization is in a need. And even when you know personally that that is a situation of need, you cannot do that. We should not do that. Then we are not setting a right example. You will not please Krishna. These are the times that Krishna sees, how are we doing what we do? What is the objective? And of course, in all this equation of assessing whether it's need versus greed, as Rompad Maharaj was saying, we are remembering Krishna. Right? We are remembering Krishna. Never forget Krishna. Always remember Krishna. But not in a blind way, not in a foolish way, in an intelligent way. Devotees are very intelligent. Devotees are the most intelligent people on this planet. Yes, I'm not saying that because we are practicing. I'm telling you, devotees are the most important people on the planet because they are not wasting a single moment of their given opportunity for self-realization on this planet, and they are doing as much work that is needed. Not based on greed. We believe that when Krishna wants to grow us, make us grow in an organization, he will make us grow. But
Prabhuji, one small point, Prabhuji.
Huh.
Okay, the more you chant, the more you get the information on how to manage your time.
Yes.
Okay. This is the most important thing which I have realized at least from last 2-3 months. Okay.
Yes.
The more you chant, the more you manage the time very effectively.
I'll tell you why. You know why it happens? I'll tell you the other side of the coin. You're saying that the more you chant, you will know how to manage the time more effectively. That's what you told, right?
Correct.
But the other side of the coin is the more you chant, you'll realize that Krishna is the time. Aham kalosmi. Right? And Krishna expands himself for a devotee. Krishna expands himself for a devotee and he shrinks himself for a non-devotee. Right? A devotee can do multitasking. He can do everything and the time seems to be enough. But for a non-devotee, when he does multitasking, he goes into anxiety. What is this? What is going on? I'll tell you, I'm sure there are so many other great devotees whose example I can quote, but in my own life, I'm seeing, right now I'm working since the job that I joined, unfortunately, it is custom created by Krishna in such a way that 14 hours I'm slogging. I don't know why I'm slogging, but I'm slogging because I see there is a need. Actually, it's a very tough time. There is a need. But at the same time, Krishna is also giving me a smartness to somehow manage my sadhana, right? And I can see that the amount of achievement I'm achieving in those time is impossible if I was not Krishna conscious. I'm somehow getting time to hear also, somehow getting time to chant also. And in between, a call comes from Vaishnav Seva Kunj, the tire is punctured and I have to run and get grass. That some calf is in bad health, doctor is not coming. I have to go and knock the door of a hospital. And I don't know where I'm getting, it's completely in an uncontrolled situation. But Krishna is in control. Arjuna left the chariot to be in control of Krishna. Right? We should also let go the chariot of our life in control of Krishna. He will take us in the direction where we are supposed to shoot our arrows. And he will also help us maneuver our life in such a way that we will go through it. But a devotee should never give up. Right? So understand that devotees are not foolish people. We should not lead a life like a foolish person. What about a materialistic person? He leads like a fool, mudha. Prabhupada says, mudhas, rascals. Why? They don't have any idea why they are leading their life. But devotees, we know why we are leading our life. Why are we leading our life? To become Krishna conscious. Period. Whether you die as a vice president or you die as a chaprasi, doesn't matter. Because death is same. Devotee knows that. Whether you leave behind 20 crores of properties for your family, or you go back, or you just leave a 20 rupee note. Who is taking care of your family? Your money? You think your money is taking care of your family? You are in big Maya. Krishna is taking care of your family. When you are sleeping in the night, who is taking care of your family?
Krishna.
Krishna is taking care of family. Don't be in the delusion to leave some property for your family. Your family is already taken care by Krishna. Irrespective of whether you leave property or not, but yes, we leave. We don't spend everything, we keep it. But don't be in the illusion that that is the savior. Krishna behind that property is the savior. Krishna is only the only savior of our family and us. A devotee knows that. And devotees are very intelligent people. They don't fall for greed. They see the need, and according to need, they put their energy, whether it is in material world, whether it is in spiritual activities, both the places. Did you all understand what I was trying to say? The kind of framework, did that help put a framework into place?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Very nice.
I mean, you also might have, but I'm just sharing my experience, which I learned from my seniors in devotional line. They're very hard workers. They're great achievers in material lines, but they're intelligent. Devotees are supposed to be intelligent, not like fools. We don't work 16 hours a day to satisfy somebody's greed or our own greed. We satisfy a need. And we also should be ready to detach. Thank you.
One question, Prabhuji. Ashish here. So, like you said, we think there is a need in the company, right? Since there is a small project which is going on, and now we think, okay, in a couple of days this should be set up ready so that the other people in the project can use our work and they can be efficient. But say in that mode of thought process, we end up spending say 16-18 hours, but then it's actually like in truth, only if somebody say in my team works 16-18 hours in that limited time is when the others can actually do their work. Say imagine a situation like that. So though we spent 18 hours or 16 hours for 2 or 3 days, later the people are who are benefiting from that, and then they are able to do their work efficiently, right? But this work which was done by the team one is not appreciated, or first of all not understood. Forget appreciation, that they don't, it's not understood. But from my perspective, if I say my team members, hey, you know what, we all are in this together, but because of the need we are doing this, right? But ultimately we realize that the team's effort is not it's not about getting recognition, getting Padma Shris or whatever, but we know it's just the nature of the work, unfortunately, right? So how should we balance this, saying, okay, you know what, we'll do a 80% job, that's probably good enough for the norm, we don't need to go beyond that. So how do you balance that?
So, Ashish Prabhu, thank you for sharing. I know you had also messaged me some tough time that you're going through at work, and it happens to many of us. So Prabhuji, rather than getting into the detail of a case, right, I would give a general aspect, which I would say that, there is a famous saying in English that if something doesn't kill you, it makes you more stronger. Have you heard this? If something doesn't kill you, it makes you more stronger, right?
Yes.
So a situation in life, sometimes it so comes that it literally, breaks us apart. But when we are broken apart, if we just stand straight and accept the situation, then we are more stronger to face a similar situation in future. So similarly, also Krishna, he puts us into situations whereby we don't know where this is leading us, but he gives you certain knowledge and experience from that situation, which will be helpful for you in future. Problem is, we try to see the benefit out of the very event that we go through. For example, we have put hard work here, there is no benefit. We want that even, the balance sheet to tally here itself. But in the world of Krishna or in our life, most of the time the efforts are here, but the result is coming somewhere else. Result is coming somewhere else. But we want to see that result also coming along with here. But if we come out of that entanglement, that the result also has to be seen at this very moment, then we become relieved. That I have done my best, and the result, let it come in the form that it is supposed to come, whenever it has to come. So the team might have done its best, but it is not gone. Nothing goes waste in this world. A hard work, a sincere prayer never goes waste. It will show up in some other way at a different time. Like if you see the life of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada was a pharmacist. He had a whole factory of making medicines. He could have become a Birla or something as big as that. Prabhupada told that. At one point, he had a choice of becoming the great industrialist. But he went through such a difficult time that all his debts, all the customers were not paying him for what he has supplied. And his complete business came down. And it was completely demolished. His entire network, the pharmacy medicines, the customers, the doctors, hospital, whatever it is. They completely brought it down. But the experience that he gained by doing that big business, look at what he did with this con. Right? It just made him so strong that he could handle. Of course, he's a pure devotee, but he's setting an example, like what Lord Krishna is taking example of Janak Maharaj. In the same way, we are taking example of Srila Prabhupada, right? He was so equipped to face the new situations in life when he comes into ISKCON society. Prabhupada faced so many legal battles in different countries, legal notices in different countries. Can you imagine? 108 temples in different countries, legal notices, and he's also translating Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ishopanishad, Bhagavad Gita, and so many other scriptures, putting purports, initiating 10,000 plus fully dedicated devotees, opening 108 temples. How did this all happen? Because his previous life as a businessman, Krishna equipped him. I mean, I'm not saying they're eye to eye comparable to his previous experience, but Krishna gave everything a devotee needs. But in our life also, when we are going through some tough time, we are learning something. It may not show a result right now, but we are equipped to face something higher in future. And that is a great aspect of the philosophy of karma. Also comes into play where we accept that, maybe this is not the right time for me to fetch the results. But when the right time comes, the results will anyway come. So as a devotee, we become more spiritually intelligent. And we completely leave it on Krishna. That Krishna, okay, you want me to learn? I don't know why am I doing this, but it will be useful in future. I don't know how you are going to use these skills in future. Right? I don't know how you are going to use these skills in future. Let me tell you my own example. Like last 3 months, I'm working in this company along with Satya Prabhu. And I have not done finance for the last 19 years. I'm a chartered accountant. I mean, I don't know why, but I have not done finance for the last 19 years. I was all into ERP consulting, and I was going everywhere around the world, implementing Oracle, implementing. And after that, last 14 years, I was working with, of my career, I was only working with customers, relationship management, account management, program, and whatever name you give to it. Those activities I was doing. And now after 19 years, and I kind of retired in a way that I'm done. But something, made me take up a job again. There was an opportunity. I said, okay, why not because I'm also maintaining the cows. I felt I should have some money as a reserve so that when there is a need, I cannot keep begging. Of course, I'm a beggar. As a devotee, I should learn to be a beggar, but I should have some backup. And I also have 2 kids. I have to take care. So let me get into a job. But try to understand, I have been put into a job where I'm not telling the details of the company, but the situation from a finance perspective is I have to learn all the acts in different angles, and all the complexities of the worlds are there already. 6 countries. I'm maintaining accounts of 6 countries and 6 different situations. And there is a whole situation. People ran away after I joined. Whatever happened, and I have to take over so many things which I was not prepared to. And then I'm understanding, Krishna, what are you making me learn? How TDS is done, how GST is done, how different other acts are done, how withholding tax, VAT, call it Dubai, call it Australia, call it America, call it this. Even the auditor that I'm working with is saying, boss, what is this? Even he doesn't have the answers. Being an auditor in the line for 20 years, he's saying, give me some time to get back. And Krishna is making me learn all these things in the last 3 months. Now I might think, Prabhu, I'm here to learn Bhagavatam. I'm here to learn Bhagavad Gita. Why am I learning this GST in all its permutations and combinations? Why am I doing this? But when I look at it, I'm thinking maybe Krishna is preparing me for a tomorrow where this knowledge will be very useful for me to do service in Krishna consciousness. Nothing goes waste. It may not give me apples to apples comparison right now, but if I just accept this as a mercy of Krishna and allow Krishna to operate with the way he wants me to operate right now, maybe in future it will be very useful for me. I don't know. I might be so grateful to Krishna that Krishna, you gave me a crash course of all the financial acts, all the income tax permutations, combinations in 3 to 4 months, which I would have never done it on myself, given a choice. But you gave me this knowledge so that I can serve you better. What if you're constructing a temple tomorrow in Gachibowli? What if you're doing something big for spreading Krishna consciousness in high-tech city? And we need we need to put all the things together, and we have to work with all the all the different statutory needs that are needed. Is this the way he's preparing me? Or is this the way he's preparing me to serve somebody who's going to do that role? I don't know. But in a devotee's life, things don't happen by themselves. If we are dependent on Krishna, then Krishna will operate on us and do the right things in our life. But if my motivation is greed, then you cannot tell that devotee's life, everything is done by Krishna. No, no, it is done by you only. It is done by you only for your greed. But if you are open to it, that let Krishna do what you want to do. Let me lose my job. Let me lose my career. But I should not lose Krishna. Because Krishna will use me in the best possible way, in the best possible place. He will take care of my family. Krishna is the best employer. Without any doubt. Right? So,
thank you, Prabhu.
We should remember that. We should remember that, and we should not work like a materialistic person without any understanding of life. We should always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, and also act intelligently. Is it the greed that I'm serving, or is it the need that I'm serving? And what kind of example am I setting for the outside world? What kind of example am I setting? Putting this tilak and going to office and rejecting work at the time of need? No. How my actions will bring people to Krishna consciousness, how my actions will take people away from Krishna consciousness will determine how much Krishna will take interest in you. That's very critical. Because that's what we are going to live with, right? We are going to live in this world what? Our actions and our examples. Always set the right example, even though it is difficult. Always make the difficult choice, even though it is difficult. Because ultimately, it will give you the right connection with Krishna. You will realize Krishna in that process. Did I answer? Hare Krishna. Sorry, I went in a different direction, but
yes, Prabhuji. Thank you for the framework. Yes.
Because see, the third chapter, for that matter, entire Bhagavad Gita also, we can read the verses and finish, the chapter. But I want us to apply what Krishna is speaking in these verses in our life. In the last few verses, Krishna told that a pure devotee doesn't have to act, but still he acts. He doesn't need anybody's help, but still he acts. And he acts only to set the right example in the society. And we should follow the footsteps of such pure devotees to perfect our life and become happy in our life. Otherwise, what is the difference between us and a materialist? A materialistic person wearing tilak and kanti and kurta? No, that's not the goal. Right? I mean, the goal is to go back to Krishna. So did you understand what we were discussing, or was it too much?
No, Prabhuji, very well explained, Prabhuji.
Thank you, bro. I don't know whether it's very well explained or not, but I'm grateful that you all tolerated me, in my mood swing, where I was trying to put, there are so many, experienced, even Shivaji Prabhu, you yourself are so experienced in life, very elder to me and very mature. And Praveen Prabhu is like a senior, he's like an elder brother to me, Subbarao Prabhu, and so many others in the call, right? I'm sure you have also a better explanation than what I've given, but I'm just trying to share from a devotional perspective, how do we handle situations when they come in our life? How do we know whether we are missing the boat or not? How do we know whether we are falling prey to Maya unknowingly? In the guise, it looks like a need, but actually it's a greed. So how do we know that that we are saving ourselves in our spiritual life, right? And never leave association. Please discuss. When difficult time comes, speak to whoever you consider as a Siksha Guru or a person as a friend. We should have a devotee as a friend in our life. Number one, we can open up and discuss. When we discuss, we are not the only one who is handling the problem. Suddenly you have somebody else also. But you don't discuss, and with that ahankara, you continue your work thinking you are the best and thinking that whatever you're doing is right, you might be in big trouble. A lot of people did that in the past, and they faced a lot of trouble. Okay, so we'll just go to the next verse. Yeah, so here, in the purport, Prabhupada is saying, although one is situated in Krishna consciousness, may not have any interest in the world, he still works to teach public how to live and how to act. Experienced person in Krishna consciousness can act in such a way that others will follow, and this is explained in the following verse, right? And the famous verse, the following verse, you all know. Yad acharat sheshtas tat evataro jana sayat pranamam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Right? So that is a very, very big responsibility. And here in purport, I'm not reading the whole purport, few important sections. Prabhupada is saying a teacher must follow the principles of Shastra scripture to teach the common man. The teacher cannot manufacture rules against the principles of revealed scriptures. He cannot. You should set the right example. For example, when we are working in the office place, sometimes there is this celebrations. Sometimes you have this celebrations where they call you, and you being a leader, sometimes they call you to speak or they call you to eat along with you. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to say, oh no, my wife sent my prasadam, I only eat prasadam, so I'm not going to eat now, thank you very much? Will that please the subordinates? Because they are also trying to express love towards you. So how do you express that love? Yeah, I'll tell you what I do. I tell them that yes, I'm going to join you for lunch, but I take my lunch along. Wherever they're sitting, I open my dabba and eat with them. I said that I tell them that I'm here, I'm with you, and I'm enjoying. When they say, sir, please can you have something, we order. Okay, I can have curd, I can have a sweet, no problem. I anyway have a sweet tooth. What to do? I can have sweet, I can have some curd rice, and I can tell to Krishna, I'm doing this so that they are pleased with my actions and they come closer to you. I can have fruits, I can have kheera, I can have papad, right? There is so, if you have a choice. But if you take that as a license to go and feast from, then it's not about need, it's about what? Greed. Every situation, you can see, is that a need or is it a greed? I'm taking, okay, as Krishna conscious devotee, I discussed in the past, children have some expectations. We are not in devotee community completely, we are mix and match, and we're trying to do the best in the bad bargain. I have to take my children to a place where it's not prasadam, but they want to eat something that I don't make at home, like a pizza. Okay, pizza we make at home, but I'm just saying an example. Like ice cream parlor or whatever. It's a vegetarian, it's a completely vegetarian. We make ensure that. But for the pleasure of the children. Now, how am I reacting in that situation? Of course, I have to participate with my children so that my children also feel that I'm participating with them. I'm also eating, but the consciousness is I'm doing this for Krishna's pleasure. And I also do it with full enthusiasm. So the children also feel happy. That's the life of a grahastha. We take risk of working with the material world so we can maintain our family and also maintain the other 3 ashramas. But the fundamental behind that is that a need or is that a greed? Right? In every aspect of life, we should remember to ask that question. And is that outside pressure or is that an internal pressure? What is leading me to do what I'm doing? right? So to set the right example is the most important thing. Yad yad acharati shesha tat tat evataro jana sayat pranamam kurte lokastha anvartate. It's a very good shloka. 3-2-1, easy to remember also. 3-2-1, third chapter, 21st shloka. You can give this to anybody in the office. You can tell, you want to learn Bhagavad Gita? They'll say, I'm not sure. Okay, let me teach you one shloka. And you teach this shloka, they will really be amazed how practical this knowledge is, where Krishna is talking about leadership. He's saying, as a leader, you are supposed to do things which others will follow. So become more responsible. In the purport, Prabhupada is saying, the Srimad Bhagavatam also affirms that one should follow in the footsteps of great devotees. And that is the way of progress on the path of spiritual realization. And below, in additional points, the second one, Krishna's instruction to Arjuna are meant to uplift humanity. Even though Arjuna, being highly qualified, might do well by going to the forest and begging, others who are less qualified will become degraded because they will imitate Arjuna without considering their own qualification for renunciation. Krishna uses himself as an example. Right? Everything that we do is being watched. Tell me, who are the first people who are influenced by you, your actions?
Children. Your kids, your kids.
Your children, they are seeing. Right? Your actions, yes, they are seeing. And you should teach them, and they will see how their father is treating his parents, how their father is working in this situation, how their father is spending time with them, how their father is also practicing Krishna consciousness. Children want to be like their father. When you are reading a scripture, they will also bring a scripture and sit beside you. They may not read it, but they try to imitate because they want to become like a father. But if a father is behaving in a very bad way, setting the bad example, then you are going to create bad society in the form of your children. Your contribution to society is the idiots that you have manufactured in your house, that you send it out. Somebody is offering, you can hear the bell, so I'll just mute all. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next shloka. In the next shloka, one second. Yeah, in the next shloka, Lord Krishna is saying, "O son of Pritha," 3.22, "O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me within all these three planetary systems, nor am I in want of anything, nor have I a need to obtain anything, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duties." What a shloka! What a shloka! Krishna is saying that he is performing activities just to set an example. Now he is going to his own personal example. Right? Let's read the purport. In purport, Prabhupada says, of course, I'm not reading the whole purport. Some sections I'm choosing here. Since everything is in full opulence in the personality of Godhead and is existing in full truth, there is no duty for the Supreme Personality of Godhead to perform. One who must receive the results of work has some designated duty, but one who has nothing to achieve in the three planetary systems certainly has no duty. And yet Lord Krishna is engaged in the battlefield of Kurukshetra as the leader of the Kshatriyas, because the Kshatriyas are duty bound to give protection to the distressed. Although he is above the regulations of the revealed scriptures, he does not do anything that violates the revealed scriptures. What a point Prabhupada is making here. Right? Krishna actually doesn't need to do anything. Is he the leader? How do you prove that Krishna is leading the Pandava army? How do you prove? He's just a chariot driver, right? How do you prove that he is leading the Pandava army? Anybody? Simple thing. All the Pandavas are his subservients. They are following what he's saying. He is the one who went with the peace resolution. He is the one who came back and told no war is needed. And who blew the first conch shell from Pandava's side?
Krishna and then Arjuna.
You should remember that. Pandavas wanted Krishna to blow the first conch shell, even though he is not the Senapati. Who is the Senapati of Pandavas? Drishtadhyumna, the brother of Draupadi. But he did not blow. Who blew the conch shell from the Kauravas side?
Duryodhana.
It was not Duryodhan. It was Bhishma.
Oh.
Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre. In the Dharma Kshetra, Krishna ensured that a devotee starts the war. Even from the opposite side. That is the greatness of Krishna. Everything that happened in that battlefield was a yajna, was the most sacred activity, even though it looked like ghastly war and blood shed. But it was started by Bhishma, a pure devotee, a Mahajan. And it was followed by Krishna, blowing the conch shell. Right? The whole act itself became auspicious. A battlefield of auspiciousness, of purity, right? That is the greatness of Krishna. Anything he gets into becomes so pure. Even a ghastly war becomes so pure. Even when he keeps his hand into butter, it becomes so pure. Even when he plays with his cows, whole Vrindavan looks so pure. Anything Krishna does, even when he takes the clothes of the gopis, young gopi girls, it is considered to be the purest activity of surrender and sacrifice by the gopis to Krishna. How do you understand this? This person who is a thief, who goes around married women, who makes people do war, who manipulates things sometimes to get things done, is the purest Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is Krishna. And that can be seen only with the eyes of devotion. Otherwise, you cannot understand Krishna. Krishna keeps non-devotees away by performing these activities, which will bewilder their consciousness, bewilder their intelligence, and they'll stay away. Why? Not because Krishna hates them or anything. He doesn't want non-devotees to disturb devotees. When devotees are performing devotional activities, he wants devotees to be peaceful. So he does activities which will confuse the non-devotees and say, okay, you want to stay in this material world, earning villa, car, and whatever that you want to earn for a few lives, go and do that. When you are ready again, you come back. But don't disturb my devotees. My devotees are completely in meditation of my activities. Janma karma chame divyam evam yuvaiti tatvatah. Every activity that I do, my appearance, my disappearance, my activities, everything is auspicious. That is Krishna consciousness. We see everything that Krishna does, teaching us a lesson. Right? Even when he kills somebody, how beautifully he does that. When he kills Aghasura, Bhumasura, so many demons, how does he kill and how much fun he creates and what all lessons he teaches us in that killing also. That is Krishna, that is God. So he sets example in his every activity. Every activity sets an example. Let's continue on this shloka here. Yes. So here next shloka he's saying in 3.23 saying, for if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path. It's a dangerous thing, right? So if he doesn't set the right example, people will just say that God has done it, so I will also do it. Who is the right example? In what avatar did Krishna prove this to the highest degree?
Rama avatar.
Yes, Rama avatar. He did it to the degree where people, even devotees, are confused. What is this, Lord Ram? You know, because that Dhobi is talking nonsense, you left your wife, Sita? No. As a king, as a Maryada Purushottama Ram, in this incarnation, I have to set the highest example. I cannot compromise. As a king, he thought. Right? That's the greatest example for this world can, you know, this India can go back to Ram Rajya, provided we have a devotee of Ram on the throne, who's ready to take the right decision, even sacrifice his own happiness for setting a right example.
Guruji, one question. Sorry, I might have missed the explanation earlier. But wouldn't Ram, as a king, correct people in his kingdom, saying, because it is Sita Mata herself, right? So yes, that was there, but I keep getting confused, saying why would he not explain the right perspective to that washerman or whoever else, right? So that it is also the duty to clarify doubts. I might think whatever, but please clarify.
Yeah. So Prabhuji, actually this is a very big answer. There is a beautiful lecture by His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. I will pass it on and we all can hear that. But understand, Prabhuji, there is a duty as a king and the duty as a husband. Every person has a set of duties, right? But duty as a king is much higher than the duty as a husband. And Lord Ram exemplified that by keeping that in the front. And for time immemorial, he wanted to teach a lesson. It's not that he was compromising on Sita Mata's comfort, but that was the avatar. The avatar that he took was to set the highest example. Like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas. He left his beautiful wife, young 24-year-old person who took sannyas, living Vishnu Priya, at home, to set an example. So certain acts of God, when they do with the vision of time immemorial. Now, till how many years and ages will the Ramayana example be quoted?
All the years.
All the years. So that decision was not meant on that particular situation, that Dhobi's consciousness. It was about the whole humanity to come. That it is a husband's responsibility to protect the woman, and the woman should always remain under the shelter of a husband, of a man, so that she's always protected. That example had to be set. And for that, he even took the pain onto himself. When Sita was kidnapped by, of course, it was not Sita, it was Vedavati, who was disguised as Sita, and Ravana took, nobody can touch Sita, Lakshmi cannot be touched by any ordinary person. But Ravana thought that he kidnapped Vedavati, but he kidnapped Sita. But Lord Ram was crying. He was crying. He was going and holding trees, and he was crying, holding trees. Tell me, where is my Sita? You can see how much attached he is to his most beloved devotee, Sita. Right? And he is leaving her. It's not an ordinary thing. How can he leave Sita? Whom he fought a whole war. He managed trillions of monkeys to win that war. Kimnaras also, Hanumanji. So much thing happened. Took so much pressure, pain, everything for her. And he is leaving her after coming because his life is, he want to show that a king's life is for the citizens, to set the right example. Of course, as I said, there's a big answer towards it. He could have done like this, like that. We think like that because we think that, we think better. But we should understand why he did what he did. When you hear that lecture of Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, I'll share that definitely. I'll search that and share.
Sure,
please hear that.
Thank you, bro.
Okay. At one time, Sita told Ram that, why do you have to kill people like that? Because Ram killed so many Rakshasas and people who attacked during that Vanvas time, right? And that time, Sita asked, what is this? You are holding this Dhanush. All the time I see you with the Dhanush and Van. Why do you have to kill people like that? I don't like to see you like this. She told. And Ram told, okay, in next life, I will not hold any weapons. In next avatar, I will not hold any weapons. When we come again, I will not do it. And he appeared as Swayam Bhagavan, Krishna. But again, what did he do? He sat in front of the chariot and made the weapons go from others. Again, Radharani asked, what is this? You are again engaging in all these things. I told you that I want you to be peaceful. I don't want you to hold the weapons or make somebody hold the weapons. Then he told, okay, no problem. I'll come as Lord Chaitanya, as a devotee. This time I'll not do the war and I'll also not hold weapons. And he came as a devotee. And still he did the same thing, but this time he cleansed the people not externally but internally. He made everybody into a devotee. by chanting his own names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Right? So, activities of God, why he does what he does, very difficult to understand. Only Acharyas, Mahajans understand why he does what he does. And they cry. When I'll tell you, when people read Ramayana, devotees, when they read Ramayana, they just cry, looking at the life of Lord Ram. When they hear the incident of Ram sending Sita along with Lakshman, they cry. Lakshmana cried. And Lakshmana took a vow that I'll never come as your younger brother again, because you are making me do things that I don't like to do. So he came as Balram in next life. Of course, he'll again come as Lakshmana when Ram Leela again happens. But there are so many, these pastimes are meant for upliftment of our consciousness and to give us so many examples to set the right example. In this verse, it's about God setting the right example. That's what he's saying, right? For if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing prescribed duties, O Partha, certainly all men will follow my path, and they'll create so many troubles, right? And in the purport, Prabhupada says, from the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is understood that Lord Krishna was performing all the religious duties at home and out of home as required of a householder. If you read the 11th canto, 10th canto and 11th canto, especially the Dwaraka Lila portion, it is explained that Krishna was the best husband. He was actually talking to his father-in-law, mother-in-law, Kosal-in-law, I don't know what all laws, all the things that are supposed to be done, he was doing it. Religiously, he was the best person, best husband also. He was setting a right example. Even though he had 16,108 wives, he was the best husband for each and every wife. If somebody has a trouble of why he has 16,108 wives, then why don't we try to perform the activities that Krishna performed for one wife? And show, if our wife is satisfied as much as Krishna's wife. It's impossible. Because he's Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he sets the right example. Right? We'll go a little further. I know it's a little late, but I'll just take one more shloka. Here, Krishna is telling in 3.24, if I did not perform prescribed duties, all these worlds would be put into ruination. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all living beings. Again, he's saying how important are his activities. In purport, Prabhupada is explaining, Varna Shankara is unwanted population which disturbs the peace of the general society. In order to check this social disturbance, there are prescribed rules and regulations by which the population can automatically become peaceful and organized for spiritual progress in life. The Lord is the father of all living entities, and if the living entities are misguided, indirectly the responsibility goes to the Lord. And below, Prabhupada is quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:33, 30 and 31. The translation is, one should simply perform the instructions of the Lord and his empowered servants. Their instructions are all good for us, and any intelligent person will perform them as instructed. However, one should guard against trying to imitate their actions. One should not try to drink the ocean of poison in imitation of Lord Shiva. Right? So the right example he's setting there. And furthermore, he goes to the next shloka, 3.25, he says, as the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to results, the learned may similarly act, but without attachment, for the sake of leading people on the right path. Here, Prabhupada is saying, Krishna conscious person is required to show the people how to act and how to engage the results of the action for the purpose of Krishna consciousness. The same thing, he's saying act with detachment, but act as a duty to set a right example. The whole theme of the second part, of third chapter is to set a right example. Set a right example for your children, for the society in future. Don't appear as a greedy person. Don't appear as a greedy person. Just look at the lives of our own parents. At least, this generation is still able to quote their parents. Did our father or mother ever look greedy to earn properties or to earn too much wealth? Did they look like that? No. They were very satisfied with what they had. My father's salary was 110 rupees. He was junior assistant clerk in army. Right? And we got our first TV when I was in my 8th grade. Maybe the refrigerator, maybe a little later. But that was not about faking simplicity. And what I'm trying to put is they were satisfied with what they had. And he bought his first house almost close to his retirement. And today we are forcing our children to go and buy the first house in a loan installment right when he gets the first job. Making them suffer right from the day one under debt. You know what? When I bought my first house, my father told me, "Endukontunora, anavasaranga loan enduku తీసుకుంటున్నావు?" he told. I was like, "Dad, I'm earning a lot." My first salary, I mean, there's no comparison, but last salary of my father as DGM accounts of rights was less than my first salary in a software company. Does it make me greater than him? No. It makes me tons of times smaller than him because he still had money in his wallet and he had no debt. I have only debt and no money in my wallet. I have so many things to show which don't belong to me. If I stop paying installments, they all will be taken by the banks. This is the lesson he taught me. He told me, "Why are you taking a loan? Don't take a loan. If you want to buy something, save and buy. When it's right time, you buy." He showed me that example. But we are in too much need for enjoyment right now. I want the best car in the market. I want the best house in the market at the youngest age. And I'm ready to take loans. Suffer. Suffer. Be in anxiety. Every recession, every problem in the industry will give you sleepless nights. But my father never had sleepless nights. And so does many of our parents. But what example are we setting to our children right now? I told my children, no debt. Last 10 years, I have zero debt. Krishna is taking care. 7 years, I didn't work. Of course, I was working more harder, more number of hours, but Krishna conscious activities, but he took care of my family. And now again, he's making me work, but he's going to take care of my family, provided I keep my faith in him and setting the right example. I tell my children, you have a choice to spend money, but you can spend it in the most intelligent way. Right? Little things that you do, you can set a right example. You want to eat ice cream? You want to eat ice cream, my son? Okay. Don't go and eat ice cream in that place where you have to spend 250 rupees for a cone. I don't remember. Some Stone Cold or I don't know.
Creamstone.
Huh?
Creamstone.
I didn't mean to object Creamstone, but I'm basically trying to tell them, spend money, thinking. Ultimately, it's the 2 inches of tongue that you want to satisfy. So I take them to another place in Koti, sometimes when I go to the temple, where I buy them ice cream, where for 30 rupees he gives a scoop. And in 60 rupees, they're satisfied. In 250 rupees, whole family we eat maybe 8 scoops of ice creams and we are satisfied. Tongue is satisfied. This stupid tongue is satisfied. But most important thing is to set an example that we should learn to take some austerity. We should learn to postpone our desires. We should learn to spend with intelligence, not with, because I have money, I will take my family and spend 5,000 rupees in a restaurant. Who gave you that money? My dear devotee, who gave you that money? Krishna gave you that money. For what did he give you that money? To serve and to save. Krishna gave you that money to save so that tomorrow's calamity will not affect your Krishna consciousness. And what are we doing? Spending. Tomorrow don't complain. Krishna, why did you put me into this situation? I lost all my money. I don't know what to do. You only did it. You spent the money when you had the money. My grandmother used to say something very simple, even though not spiritual, but she used to say something very simple. Telugulo cheppedi. Nu dabbunu kaapadu.
Adi ninnu kaapadu.
Dabbu ninnu kaapadu. Save money. Wherever possible. Opportunity. Save money. because it will save you. I'm not telling, don't think that I'm praising myself or I'm not a good example for many things. But I'll tell you, this Saturday morning I got a call that my auto, the electric auto got spoiled. Now they have to bring grass for the cows, and they don't know what to do because cows need grass every day. And then I called somebody in the village saying, can anybody help to get the grass? The tractor fellow quoted 1,800 rupees, 1,500 to 1,800 rupees to just get grass. It takes 2 hours activity. He has to go 3 kilometers away, get the grass, put it on the tractor and bring it to the thing. Then I started calculating, okay, what do I have to do? Anyway, every week I have to take darshan of the cows, so I have to go there. So how much petrol will I spend? How many kilometers is it? Maybe 3 liters up, 3 liters down, 6 liters of petrol. Meaning how much? 80 into 6, 500 rupees maximum. So 500 versus 1,800 rupees. So how much am I saving by not spending money for unnecessary thing and also taking darshan of the cow? That's okay if my car is filled with grass. So what is a big deal? I saved 1,300 rupees. And that 1,300 can be used for service of a cow in some other way. You have to make the choice. Is it needed or is it greed? What is that choice? Everything that karma yoga is not about the impractical philosophy which needs to be heard and thought how to be applied. Prabhu's, right now we can apply in our life. Is it needed or is it greed? How much am I spending on brands? Prabhu, come on, let's not get into that. Okay, sometimes brand is good. But what is the philosophy behind spending on that brand? For example, buying a MacBook is good. Why? Because MacBook remains for a longer time with zero maintenance and it gives a good output. So that's not greed. That's a need. No problem. But in that MacBook, I want some other lighter version which will make me feel the topmost, the best market piece. Right now, the latest, that is greed. We should know how we are applying what we are applying. In service of Krishna. In service of Krishna. Radhesham Prabhu also holds a laptop, very thin laptop, and it's a touchscreen laptop. It's a touchscreen, very small laptop. He opens, there is a Radha Vrindavan Chandra picture behind, and how many presentations? Did you ever see him scrolling through his folders anytime? Where he searches for something to show? My God, he has created like thousands of seminars. And he is using that laptop for that purpose. And day and night he works on that, sends emails, long replies. So many problems he solves in the society the devotees bring up. Does he need a MacBook? Yes. But still he does not attach. No? I mean, like, completely uses whatever situation he has. So it's about how we want to spend. Simple example. See, I'll tell you. Once in a while, we have a discussion in the family. I'm not sharing just to influence or anything, but I'm just trying to tell you that, me and my wife, we discuss, okay, we are going to Vrindavan. We'll go to Vrindavan. How should we go? Should we take a flight? A flight is what? A flight is 2 hours journey and maybe another 2 hours of going to airport and leaving from airport, coming to Delhi. Flight is good. Okay, fine. But I tell my wife, that, okay, why don't we crack a deal? If we all family goes in a flight to Vrindavan, it might cost 30,000 rupees up and down. 6 members, me, my father, my mother, and my 2 children, me and my wife, 6 people going, at least if it is 5,000 one way, right? Or 4,000 one way, 6 into 4, 24, and coming back another 24, 50,000 rupees we are going to spend only on flight. What if I come up with a deal that we spend only 2,000 rupees going in a AC compartment, no problem. Because in UP, you see people coming and sitting on you, when we go in the second class, to avoid that inconvenience, let's go in AC. So it is 2,000 per, so 12,000 one way, 12,000 coming back, 24,000. Remaining 24,000, we will buy nice dresses for Jagannath in Loi Bazaar. How about the deal? I'm still going to spend the 24,000, but I'll spend it for a different purpose. A little inconvenience. Yeah, we are going to peacefully sleep in the train in AC while going and coming back. But does it mean if a devotee goes by flight, we have to pinpoint, see, this fellow is spending more? No, his situation might be different. His office situation might be different. He may have to come back immediately. to go somewhere or to do. So individually, we as devotees should use our intelligence to understand whether we are working for need or greed, whether we are spending for need or greed, whether we are acting for need or greed. What are we doing? How are we applying karma yoga, setting the right example in our life? Right? And our children see that, Prabhus. Our children see that. They don't, it's not like they don't see. And your children might hate you sometimes for what you're doing, your decision. That's okay. As an immature child, he can hate me. But as a mature adult tomorrow, he'll remember me. That's more important, isn't it? So don't try to impress or buy your children with your money. Instead, buy them values by taking that austerity. But again, be practical. We don't have to show our children poverty. We have to balance it. And we should show how we are spending our earnings, right? How we are telling them, what it means. And that is karma yoga. We'll continue this next week. There is much more instructions. Lord Krishna is going to speak. We only finished maybe, I don't know, 10 verses today, maybe 7 or 8 verses. I'm sorry. But there is a lot to apply in our life while we go through this. And I'm not a perfect teacher to finish in, of course, the BG24 I'm not implementing right now because I want this to go online, let it be a little different way. But had it been BG24, I would have finished the whole chapter in a 3-hour time frame. But I'm taking this choice to learn myself, to go deep into what Krishna is speaking and how to apply this in my life. And if needed, if somebody wants guidance to guide you, how to apply this in your life. Thank you. So any questions before we sing Narshing Arati?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I'm just thinking how to bring Meera and child back from Kumbakonam. Maybe it's flight or train.
Hare Krishna. No, you should bring them by flight. You go by train, bring them by flight.
Okay.
No, just kidding. Whatever is safe for them. I think right now the situation is safe. Right? See, again, need or greed, right? The need is to not spend too much time where there is a chance of getting infected. At the same time, be smart, right? So if she's safe there, maybe you should allow her to stay there for some more time.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Subhara Prabhu, our Yudhishthir in our satsang. You want to share anything? I've been going on talking, but you are a matured person.
You explained it very nice, Prabhuji. So one thing I was when you were explaining how to balance work and Krishna consciousness. I was reflecting yesterday night. I don't know if you heard that lecture where Radhanath Maharaj, Alfred Ford, Ajay Piramel, Sangeeta Reddy, and all these people discussion.
Oh yes. Recently.
So they were talking about same thing, basically how to balance Krishna consciousness, or basically he was referring to the 3 points: karta, karma, and compassion, and how to put all the 3 things in terms of philosophy. That's what all speakers spoke yesterday. So Ford was saying, like, the whole lockdown, the corona thing came because of how we're polluting the environment, and that now reflects on how Ford should react to making more pollution-free services to the society. And same thing, Sangeeta Reddy was also saying how their services as a responsible healthcare people, how they should add more compassion during these times and make it more affordable and more accessible to all the common people. So that's what I thought, when you are reflecting, saying, like, whatever you're doing should be more compassionate and be more helpful to that society. They're also saying how important it is, and we have seen what impact of businesses to the society. So the need of the hour to raise to that occasion and work for, basically, and add value, and then still remain in the spirit of Krishna consciousness. I don't know. So that's what they were all speaking about last night. I thought I should bring it up.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing what Maharaj was speaking, and what great personalities like Amrish Prabhu, Alfred Ford, and other great leaders were speaking. That is what is needed, right? Yad yad acharati shreshtas. The great leaders are exemplifying with their example.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to announce is, we are facing some continuous problems in the farm, and the health is the issue now, not only of the cows but also the caretakers. One of the caretaker got jaundice now, and another caretaker's daughter is not well. I don't know what's going on. So they, last Saturday when I visited, they requested that I think we should do some big Maha Yajna, Sankirtana Yajna, plus maybe another Yajna to bring peace in that place where the cows are also not facing too many health problems. So I've decided to perform a big Narsimha Swami Yajna in the farm. Maybe I'll let you know the date. Maybe after a little relaxation is given by the government, so we all families can participate in that yajna, not only for the safety of the farm and the cows, but for the safety of all devotees in our congregation, right? Safety of their devotion, safety of their families' health, so we can continue peacefully. So I will let you know when that yajna date will be. I'm looking at it something like September, August or September. So I'll keep you posted, right? So we will perform that for the satisfying of Lord Narasimhadev to give us protection, and Lord Krishna to bless us, so we can service cows and also serve the society in the form of preaching. And I highly encourage everybody in this call that please share the knowledge that you're getting. By sharing, you gain more insight and realizations. And God has gifted so many of you. Actually, you're so humble to be sitting and listening from a person like me, who is not a good presenter or a speaker, but you are good speakers and presenters. You should use your God-given talent to share this knowledge with others. We are not an institution to break coconuts and rotate agarbattis. We are a missionary organization where we are given order by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swayam Krishna himself, that he wants the name of God to be chanted in every town and village. And we all carry that responsibility. So let's try to see how we can do or contribute to that service, directly and indirectly. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So what sloka did we finish today? Where did we go? 25. Okay.
25.
So we'll continue from 25. Maybe next week we can go a little faster, because the theme I've set it about setting the example. We can go a little faster. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahaladaladaine. Prahaladaladaine. Hiranyakashi Purvaksha. Hiranyakashi Purvaksha. Shilatankana Kalaye. Shilatankana Kalaye. Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho. Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho. Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimho. Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimho. Vahir Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho. Vahir Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho. Nara Singamadim Sharanam Prapadye. Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye. Savakara Kamala Varena Kamakuta Singha. Dalita Hiranyakashipo Tanubranga. Keshavadruta Narahari Rupa. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jaya Narasimhadev, 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 Jaya Narasimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev, Nittai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaur Hari Bol. Bhakt Vignash Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai, Bhakt Shiromani Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhംsa Pradikacharya Stottaraj Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhംsa Pradikacharya Stottaraj Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. प्रेम से बोलो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम श्री श्री राधा कृष्णा गोप गोपीनाथ राध कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। पुण्य क्षेत्र वृंदावन धाम की जय। गंगे माई की जय, यमुने माई की जय, भक्ति देव की जय, कलियुग पावन तुलसी महारानी की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, ट्रांसलेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय, ट्रांसलेंटल प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। निताई गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyavacha pajtanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti vaishnavavrinda ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki Shri Gurudev ki jai. Hare Krishna. So Prabhuji, don't mistake to think that I am any pure person. I am not any pure, but the message that I am giving is pure. So please take that message seriously and try to apply in your life. I wish you all the best and please stay safe. Don't take too much office tension. Take care of your health. Don't take too much pressure. At the same time, balance it as we discussed today. So let's meet next week if Krishna permits. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam. Hari Bo.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.